Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. No butler, but you knew that.
Yeah, on vacation.
Well, it's, holiday vacation.
Actually,
the British guy celebrating Thanksgiving early.
I actually like it now. It's come full circle to the point where I'm like, he's here? Oh, I wish he was on vacation.
This is not really a vacation for Butler because I don't think he's too happy about flying across country for like one day.
With
and
a small child.
And then flying back.
The turnaround on this is horrifying. The turnaround is like a 30-minute turnaround.
Yeah, you fly to Seattle for 18 hours and fly back. It was like, man, I don't want to do that. Well, that's not fun at all.
That flight, I mean, driving that, if you could break it up, would be kind of fun with your family. But flying that, if you don't stay, for me, this is just me.
Yeah.
I'm a bad flyer, you know this, but I'm better, and I'm positive about flights now. Like I'm happy to travel. I need 3 days in the place I'm going. If you take me that far, you got to give me 3 days to get prepared to fly again.
Dude, he told me that there are so many people traveling that every long-term parking space is full. Yeah. Like even the Bark and Pay, all the stuff down Semra.
All of it.
All of it's
When's
full.
the last time you were down there?
He parked it like a La Quinta.
He had to pay $120 at a hotel like that's near the airport.
So then he's got to Uber to the
When's
airport.
the last time you've been down there? The only reason I know this, it gives me an excuse to talk about my favorite restaurant down there, which is the Airport Hooters that me and my family go to. When you drive down there, the Hooters parking lot is slammed, not with people enjoying the delicious wings and atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's usually people going to the airport. It's slammed.
I mean, the more people are traveling than ever.
It's crazy.
Also, I heard a weird fact about turkeys that last year there were so many, because people were having small get-togethers, that everybody ordered so many small turkeys that they didn't eat the big turkeys from last year.
Never eat the big turkey.
And therefore, there's gigantic turkeys this year.
Oh, those are old turkeys, though.
No. They're big, tough turkey. Big, tough, acidic. The meat's acidic. You eat that meat, it'll burn your eyeballs. It's pungent. You know, I learned something. You mentioned turkeys, and I got to say this. Is our guest on the line?
Well, yeah. He's probably waiting. He's like, hey, what's happening?
Mark, turkeys. Mark, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something about turkeys that you probably don't know. Did you know, and my daughter taught me this, did you know you can tell the sex of a turkey by a turkey's poop?
I had no idea.
Okay, well, I'm going to learn you something before we start Weird Job.
He's going to learn you.
If the turkey has a J-shaped poop, it is a male. If the turkey has a traditional, as my daughter described it, emoji plop of poop, it is a female. The larger the poop, the older the bird. Boom. Now you know. Weird Job Wednesday is up next.
All about it.
Tom wanted to do a bit.
That's
he
true.
He called it Weird Job Wednesday.
You can Google it if you want. Totally true.
Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you're looking for a mortgage or to refinance your house like me and Daniel did, just talk to Brian Zymel and his team. They will help you. Hundreds and hundreds of our BDMs have done it. Talk to any of them. They've had a great experience.
And one of the things you talk about, and just quickly, I'll just use myself as an example. Hillary works with Brian on the team.
Yes.
They will flag your if you're a client of theirs, they'll flag your file, and when it is time for them or when they think that they can best serve you, they will actually find you I had Hillary call me 2 days ago, and I forgot I even told them, like, hey, get at me when you think it might be right for me to do something different. And Andrea wanted to do it. And Andrea, my wife, was on the phone with her for about 20 minutes, and they got everything sorted away. It's the easiest and best thing you can do right now.
Also, it doesn't cost you anything.
Nothing.
Plus, you don't have to pay your mortgage for 2 months when you refi, so you save
free
that.
money. I pretend it's free money.
And then you take some equity out, pay off from credit cards.
I do the same thing I do when I get money back from the government. When I get my tax money back.
Mark's on the line.
You
How
get
you doing,
money back?
Mark?
Not a lot.
How's it going,
he
Mark?
left us.
It's going pretty good.
There we go. All right.
Talking to you guys, can't get any better than that. It's awesome.
Oh, man, this guy.
I love this guy.
You're about to get married, Mark.
So
Ring on it. I'm ready for it.
Mark was referred to us by a BDM for a weird job.
Do we need to give a shout out to this listener and give him some love or send him a...
Who told you about this, Mark?
Tracy Parody.
Shaky Parody?
Tracy.
Tracy Parody.
Oh, I don't know.
My poker player friend, Shaky Parody.
Nice, yeah.
So, Mark, what do you do for a living?
So I am a hot yoga instructor, and I own a studio.
Now, wait a minute. Are you a hot yoga instructor
Right,
or
right.
are you a hot yoga instructor?
Yes.
Yeah! More marks, less us. More marks.
So, Mark, let's get into the yoga.
right.
How do you become a yoga instructor?
Well, first you have to have a couple years of doing like ultra distance running and ruin your body, and then you can try yoga for yourself and see if that actually works for you.
Oh, okay, so
and then you kind of change your life.
So you were one of these guys, and we have one of these guys in Tom's family, where we have one of these guys that's like an ultra athlete, like
Iron Man.
yeah, he's an Iron Man, and
But we got a BDM.
we have a BDM too.
Patrick that does ultra distance running
Mm-hmm.
and ultra marathons. Had his all his toenails
Yeah, it's
removed.
disgusting.
Surgically removed. Yeah. Did you have that?
I had him fall off a couple times, but I never had him removed, purposely.
There's
They kind
two.
of-
If you have no toenails though on your feet, on both feet, easier for footing. If you know
Come
what I
on,
mean.
come on. So,
Foot.
so Mark, with the ultra distance running, you mentioned that it did a lot of damage to your body, and I've thought about this before. Like my brother-in-law's an Iron Man or whatever, and like the amount of training he does, and it just looks like it's. We think of it as healthy in an environment of like exercise equals healthy, but this looks like it actually could do long-term damage because it's just so grueling and rigorous and the amount of miles.
So like yes and no. I think if you're doing it right, you are doing okay. But I wasn't really doing it right. I was kind of just like grinding every time, putting in the work, and just like kind of trying to keep up with everybody else for like a long time, couple years. And then after that, I kind of had to take a break because like I just kind of wrecked myself. And so a friend of mine kind of recommended trying hot yoga. And when I first started, I was kind of like ignorant about what yoga really was. I thought it was more like that spa yoga kind of stuff where it's like very like what people think about yoga, off the top of their head.
Yeah.
And so I went to the first class, and it was really, really, really challenging. I didn't make it through barely. And then, I kept at it, and a couple years later, I'm here.
So, Mark, because you're right about the stereotype of yoga, and I think most people.
Most people think it's gay.
Well, they think it's easy.
And I mean the old terminology of that word when it meant things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
When you meant like, hey, look, this is what girls and effeminate men do. That's what people think.
Right.
That's what
for real.
That's what they think. And I do yoga, so I can say that.
And it would be easily explained by people that work out understand what planking is, right? Like with core
that's when
workout.
you have to poop so bad you have to stick your legs out.
But it's like getting on your forearms and straightening your body in like a push-up pose and just staying still like that. Hard to do for over a minute, right? I mean, insanely difficult. And I feel like if people just described yoga as different forms of planking, it would be a lot of, I would understand it better.
Variations in planking.
Because that's hard. Like, anybody who's ever done that kind of exercise would realize, and that's what I look at yoga as, different forms of planking and holding poses that is ultra hard.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like hard
absolutely.
standing.
Absolutely. And in the system of yoga that we teach, it's very like that as well. It's very like, you come into posture, you hold posture for a duration, You come back out of the posture and you be still for a moment or two. And we do that, in a 105-degree room. It's 105 degrees. It's 90 minutes long, and all that, and it's really intense. It's like strength and flexibility at the same time. You're building both those things.
Well, Mark,
not just like stretching.
I was going to ask you about the hot part of the hot yoga. Why in a like super hot sauna-like environment?
A couple of reasons. One, it really kind of helps just open up the muscles up a lot. Your muscles are warm. You're going to get deep in the postures without like overstretching things or pulling on things. And also, too, it's really like you get whole body detox. You sweat buckets and buckets and buckets, and it's super good for you. Like it's all around, inside out.
So, are there any drawbacks to doing it though? Like, can you, I guess, do hot yoga too much to a point where maybe, are you advised to keep it like regimented to like maybe 2 times, 3 times a week, something like that?
When I first started doing my training, I was going every day for like, 6-7 months, like just straight going for it. I think like yoga is something you can do like every day, because you just kind of work at your own pace. If one day you're feeling like kind of things like, okay, I'm not really feeling this too much, you just stop a little bit. There's the only competition you have is with yourself. There's no egos, no competition. We're all there on our mats, looking at ourselves in the mirror, putting in the work. So, but I think too, like if anything, it can be if you're doing the wrong way, just like with ultra running, it's like it can be adverse effects to you.
Huh. That is crazy.
Mark, explain to me the detox part, because like I don't understand biology, obviously, but I was under the impression that your kidneys and your liver or whatever, like mainly your kidneys, though,
detoxify your
filter out all the toxins, and then it basically gets released in your urine, and that's where you're getting rid of all the toxins. That's why when your kidneys stop working, they build up the bad stuff in the body, you get poisoned. But can you sweat it out?
Oh, absolutely. So your skin is like one of the largest kind of type of organs in the body. So you have all the surface area, but all your sweat glands, all your lymphatic system goes through the skin and the sweat. So as you build up heat, because in yoga practice you kind of get like a lot of internal heat. So it feels like you're not doing a lot in the way of moving your body, but you start getting like really heat up on the inside, and you sort of sweat like tons and tons and tons. And like actually, kind of we have a fun fact: like if you do hot yoga a lot, you just don't stink anymore. Like nobody stinks because like you're pretty much cleaned out. Like. Pretty
hold on. Okay, now the analogy I'm thinking of it makes sense to me, but when you say like you're completely cleaned out, it makes me think of like when a shrimp is cleaned. Like in a shrimp you can see its duty track.
Exactly.
because you're constantly sweating and that thing's always in use, right? Because most people, let's be honest, the goal is to not sweat, right? Especially if you have a day job, an inside job, something like that. Now your roofers and your construction guys and landscapers, you don't need to listen to this part. But everybody else, the goal is to not sweat, right? So, what you're doing is that you're sweating so much that your shrimp doo-doo track is always clean. Always clean.
You're cleaned out for sure. Absolutely.
Also, Mark, I would assume everything that
I have the best analogies, by the way.
Everything that ancient humans used to do is more natural to how we should live, right?
Well, they didn't have any of the unnatural stuff.
Like, we evolved over hundreds of thousands of years, and then only recently did we enter in societies and communities and things where now we're eating all these processed foods and farmed foods, and we're not doing what we evolved to do, which is hunted and gather and work out a lot and sweat a lot. So I imagine that now, since we live in communities that, like Daniel said, we try normally not to sweat unless you're like exercising or whatever, that by not sweating for long periods of time could actually be bad for you, because we've evolved to sweat all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because humans 100,000 years ago would just sweat all day because you're working hard all day. So
it probably wasn't even looked at like the way we look at sweat.
So by not sweating, we're just holding in a certain amount of...
Makes sense to me.
Whatever you may call it, just like toxins. Even though
one more part of that I would say is almost like a motorcycle or something like that. When you don't use it, let's just take your sweat glands or your skin.
Yeah, it builds up stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. I would imagine, and this is no science behind it. I'm just
Yeah,
using
yeah,
logic.
yeah.
If I'm not using the top of my skin and all I'm doing is bathing it with, I don't know, whatever, and then keeping it ice cold all day, big fat chair all day long, never moving,
yeah.
only chilling it all. That does not sound appetizing to me. It sounds like maybe I'm going to blow those pores out a little bit with some sweat.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, for
blow
sure.
these pores out.
I like what you said about like the old ancient stuff becoming like what's coming more popular today. Because there's a lot of studies out there too where it has where yoga practice, yoga studies, and science are kind of coming together, kind of proving that some of these things are pretty much right. It comes to the breathing exercises and what it does to your body. The health benefits of these postures. Because prior to I don't know, the past 100 years, we started doing the yoga in a classroom together. Everybody did the same postures over and over again with each other. But before that, it was prescriptive. You go to your teacher, your guru, and he prescribes you a series of postures for you. That's what I have diabetes, my back hurts, and they would tell you do these postures for that. So now,
that's cool.
So now we kind of do all together in one classroom, all the same. So the Bikram series is kind of like a prescription. It's like the multivitamin penicillin of yoga. It's it accommodates a wide range of elements everybody has. That's why everybody can kind of do the postures together all in one classroom setting.
I want to talk about one thing in yoga that's weird for me, because I try a lot of yoga. I'm not going to sit here and say I do a lot of yoga because it's laughable when you see me do yoga. But I will say I try it a lot, and I'm really bad at it. How long do you think it will take me to get to a point where I feel comfortable doing a real yoga flow? And what I mean by that, Tom, because I don't know if you know that, but there's different moves, and I guess the flow, and obviously our guest can explain it better, is sort of connecting all the movements. So let's say I'm in one, and I want to come out of that movement into the next one. Where I break down is the transition from one pose to the next.
It's not smooth.
I'm not strong enough. Yeah, it's not smooth. I'm not strong enough. I fall over, or I'm shaky. I got to use my blocks to balance me up. How long does it take, or is that a forever journey, almost like jujitsu?
Well, let me ask you this: what does good at yoga mean?
Right. I know it's kind of a silly question.
Yeah, because
I just feel like I can never get past. I've never completed a yoga class where I was I made every posture go into the next. I've never been able to do that ever.
So it's not really about the yoga itself. People get caught up on a lot how they look in the postures, how they look in it, and it's not really about that. It's about if you're moving the body in the right direction the posture requires, you're using the right muscles and doing the right parts of the body to make the purpose of the posture, getting the health benefit of it. So if you can't bring your forehead to your knee, you reach your forehead to your knee as far as you can. You're still doing the posture, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
no, I get what you're saying. The other thing that I ask, and there is no answer for this, is that why do they make the thing that I need the most the hardest and strangest? I think you and I would benefit more from yoga and meditation than any other exercise we could ever give ourselves, right?
Yeah.
I honestly believe in this job that we do, we prescribed ourselves daily yoga and meditation that in 1 year's time we'd come back and we'd be like, holy crap, look at how much better, but it's so hard. And it's not
hard because we don't really take time for ourselves anymore. We're always on the go, hustle and bustle. So even just being still for 20 minutes even just to do a little bit of meditation is very hard for people to do. We don't we can't stay still anymore. So that's the purpose of a practice too, is just being still, taking time to be still. And in classroom, when we're laying on the floor in Savasana, that's the hardest part of class sometimes for people, just being still.
You wouldn't be able to do Savasana.
Well,
which is really just laying on your back, right?
Yeah, just laying on your back.
Yeah, it's literally the poses, Tom. You just lay on your back. That's it. But I have found myself being so uncomfortable in that pose because I'm like, I got to get up and check my phone. Which is stupid.
Well, going back to emulating ancient human, right? Ancient human would have been still a lot of parts of the day. First, because think about it, we're like other animals. You don't want to waste your energy for no reason. So you want to be still if you can be, and then if you're hunting, you're super still, just sitting waiting, and then you're doing bursts of energy.
It's definitely 0 to 60 in your most.
So, Mark, I'm sorry to get childish here, but I got to ask you a question because
Mark's super cool. I think he'll be fine.
Well, one of the most awkward parts of thinking. I've never taken a yoga class, but first, I don't like camaraderie where like
Yeah.
I'm in.
Hands to the middle. We're gonna everybody yell yoga on 3.
Well, I don't think.
Yeah.
Is there like because yoga does seem like you just go into the class, everybody's quiet, you don't talk to anybody, and no one's putting their hands
It's
in
like
the middle.
stretching golf. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
singular thing.
Yeah.
Stretching golf is what I call it.
Yeah. And so I like that part, but the other part, the being in a classroom full of people, especially now you're adding heat. And I've heard, the joke about the people farting. How often does that happen? And does anybody acknowledge it? Because I get extra awkward and no one says anything.
So my yoga journey, I pretty much heard like every single kind of body function you can possibly imagine in that studio. So it just depends on like kind of people don't really they ignore it unless the person who dealt it was kind of like looking around like somebody hear me, that kind of thing. But it's kind of part of the process. You're pushing your stuff around your belly and your colon and stuff, and something's bound to kind of release.
Yeah, I always.
There's actually a posture. There's actually a posture called wind removing posture, where you kind of press into your belly, and that's pretty much what it does. It removes gas.
I'm doing that right now. I'm doing the wind releasing. I prefer to call it. I prefer to call it pungent eagle. Is the pose? I call it.
Nice.
It's the pungent eagle pose.
I like it.
So, is there a amount of people that's like for one instructor, kind of like they do in elementary school, where like anybody, like you can't have over 40 kids per teacher?
This is based on size.
Yeah.
No, it's based on body mass. So you can have 5 normos or 2 chunkies.
All right.
Yeah.
Or 8 super skinny girls.
Yeah, or 8 of those. Yeah, which
No, we have a cap in the studio, so we have about 15 students per class, so we can kind of fit all people's all
yeah,
sizes.
15's not. That's nice. That's small.
Well,
that's good.
What I'm saying
Yeah,
is
there's some cities that have really a lot of people, like 30 people or more. But we're kind of a small traditional yoga school, so we kind of keep it really kind of small that we can kind of really focus on each student as they are.
Do you think that eventually, with all the technology moving toward like having basically a giant screen, the instructor you're working out with, kind of like you've seen that big black mirror that you put on your wall?
It's called a tonal. And I think they're trying to go public. I mean, they're selling a lot of those tonals, man. They're expensive.
And then now Peloton is basically branching out into other exercises.
It looks like an Xbox Kinect. Everything is becoming a smart camera and a TV.
Yeah.
Smart camera TV.
Yeah.
So do you think that eventually phases out the actual in-person yoga studio and everybody's just doing it from home?
Well, not hot yoga.
I really don't think so, because I was surprised when during COVID when everything went onto online, like the lack of people doing online courses. I think it's really something being in person and putting the work in with a group of people. Kind of have that energy in the room, inspiration, kind of pushing forward. Plus having an instructor actually there to like look at you and like tell you what to do and like help work you put you in the different positions and stuff. Is something people are never going to change. They're going to like that a lot, like coming to the studios.
And also the accountability to, like, you get friends and stuff, you meet them there, and then if you don't show up, they're going to be like, oh,
where's Izzy? I knew he wouldn't be here.
I mean, there's something to, I mean, literally, like, I could exercise at home twice a week if I wanted to, but I go to a trainer because there's an appointment and I feel obligated to go. If it was up to me, I would probably think of excuses not to do it and not do it. And that's basically
that's it. Exactly.
I'm paying money just to be accountable. And that's how weak I am, because it is a weakness. Well, I mean, it's like you can do this yourself,
but it's not
too weak.
It's not all across yourself. Like you have other strengths in other areas, but in this, you would prioritize it lower because look, I can write it. Something would happen with the family, and that's going to take priority. And the same thing's going to happen to me. I'm going to get. It happens at the Peloton.
If
sometimes.
you go home,
I love my Peloton, but let's make no bones about the fact that they are taking a dip in their stock. People are going back to the gyms. People like to go back to gyms. I'm the weirdo that loves exercising by myself on my 4th floor alone. I'm the weirdo. That is not the norm, right?
Okay.
It just became the norm because of the pandemic, and they cashed in a little bit. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, more efficient if you could do it.
If you can do it.
But it's
now funny thing. I can't do strength training on my own.
Yeah,
I can do
yeah.
cardio on my own. I can't do
Yeah.
strength training on my own. I'll find any reason to be like, nah, not doing it.
Yeah.
But I'll ride a bike for hours because I'm weird.
Is there any such thing as cold yoga? Like, I mean,
good question.
Because there's
I
that,
mean,
there's
like-
Wim Hof and all that the cold
Oh, yeah.
immersion stuff.
I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere there's something like that, but I haven't heard of it. Maybe that's the next big thing, cold yoga. I don't know.
Now,
It's kind of counterintuitive to like your muscle stretching because you're like
Right.
everything tenses up.
But
when it's cold.
maybe it's your job to warm it up through the cold.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Well, there's like there's
perseverance
like
yoga.
there's a style of yoga, yin yoga, which is like you don't really like keep the body cold to do like you stretch the fascia of the muscles to the muscle itself. That's a different style of yoga. There's that, but I don't really think about like making the room like extra cold, like turn the AC on a lot, make it nice and cold for you.
Now, I'm thinking about this and thinking about, kind of you putting this together, and you said there's like 15 people per class. Now, you stand up in the front of the class, and then you will execute a certain level of poses, and then other people will, at their discretion,
Emulate it.
Yeah, emulate. Is that how it typically works?
So we teach in like a traditional setting. So I don't generally do the I don't do the posture with the class generally. Yeah, I need to show like kind of demonstrate like a technique or something like that. But generally, they all stand up looking forward towards the mirror. I walk around the room and I talk the whole time, and they do the postures.
And then you can correct me if I'm like I got a saggy belly, like an old horse, like my belly is leaning.
No.
And you're like, come on, tighten that core, you saggy
Exactly,
belly,
yes.
tiny little pony, you disgusting pony.
Yeah,
Sorry,
something
I
like that.
should've
But,
left
yeah.
I know I haven't seen you. You're like,
Yeah, that way-
funniest thing ever.
Disgusting pony.
But like in that setting there, because the style of yoga that we teach there is very like therapeutic. There's a lot of instruction on very detailed on how to get in the postures and what to do in them. So if I was doing the postures with the classroom, I wouldn't be able to like, really see everybody.
That makes
So we kind of-
sense. Yeah, no, I get it now because like I'm trying to increase my flexibility. So one of the things that I started last year, and I've been really good about it though, is stretching. But I'm at a point now where I got to do more because you and I are so tight, dude. If we
Oh, I'm so stiff.
we are, we're just it's just.
I've never seen anyone more stiff than Tom Van.
Yeah. I have a
used to be
medical
in the same
condition.
class, but I'm only a couple notches better. Only a couple notches. And that's just because I have to work at it. Every time I ride my bike, they tell you to stretch. So I've dedicated myself. So I've done, as of yesterday, I've done almost 1,400 rides. And that means out of the stretches, you're supposed to do one right every single time you do that. And I've only got like 100 stretches. It's real bad. It's real bad. Real
Well,
bad.
stretching is one thing too, but also makes actually what really helps increase flexibility is strength as well. A lot of times, like you get to a point of posture where it's like, okay, your flexibility gets you so far, but then the strength has to take over. You have to use your strength to go further than that. So you'll be surprised about like, especially in the style that we teach, how much strength is involved in the actual stretching itself as well.
Gotcha.
Well,
Yeah.
what if you're super strong and super stiff,
Oh, my God.
like a
Yeah.
statue? That's me.
Professor Stiff and Strong.
Oh yeah, well, it balances it out. The flexibility and the strength will kind of balance itself out over time. But you need both. You need strength and flexibility to kind of keep everything moving nice and balanced. Wise.
So, Mark,
Can you become rich doing this? I would
Well,
imagine
yeah.
not.
Oh no.
well,
I work two other jobs too.
You know
So
what
it's
I
like-
was picking up on, though? Here's what I was picking up on. This guy's too nice and awesome to be rich.
yeah.
You're too nice of a person,
Yeah.
man.
I think
you're not nasty enough to be rich.
Mark, because I started thinking about like what is the business model of yoga instructor.
This guy
but,
sounds awesome. Like I'd want to hang out with this guy like right now. There's no way you're rich.
But I'm thinking of like, all right, so you start a yoga studio, right? And you bring in a bunch of people, right? And then once you bring in all those people, you teach them how to start their own yoga studio.
Yes.
And then
Flexible
Franchise-
pyramid.
and then you get a portion of whatever they make, right? And then they teach their students to start their own. It goes down and down and down,
and
Mark.
then
You
you
see,
s-
and then you're at the top.
And then
Dude,
you
that's
sell
genius.
a series of overpriced shakes that they can sell their
Yeah.
yoga.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And you roll that in.
You call it yoga body,
Yeah.
and then everybody's pushing their
Dude, that's
juices.
genius.
Yeah. You do a lot of pictures of you in a hot tub, and you talk about how awesome your life is. And
Yeah,
Oh my God.
you find some sort of you ever berries, Nona berries or whatever. What is
Oh
it
yeah.
Nona berry.
Some sort of berries.
You get some noni
That's
juice,
incredible.
and you get some.
You sell that, you get that going.
That's awesome.
And
But,
that's the way.
But then seriously though, yoga yoga is like more of like a lifestyle, you know. And so like it's part of my lifestyle, and I saw what it did for me, and I really wanted to bring it to the community because it can, you know, heal your body. I mean, I was in a really bad place when I started doing yoga, and it really changed my life. You know, too much where I trained all the time. I eventually went to all the trainings to become a teacher, and then now, you know, I'm up here at my own studio, you know, teaching this stuff too. And it's like, so, you know, it's definitely like, you know, you got to keep the doors open, of course, but also it's more, it's a very, you know, it's a passion of mine. So
I like that.
I'm trying, you know, and it's getting, I opened up in December of 2019, like 2 months before COVID hit.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Good timing.
So,
You're standing
yeah,
over there
good timing,
looking
right?
at your hot stones. You're like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. So, you know, so I was really, like grateful and like humbled that, you know, the community that I had built up, you know, prior to that was really supportive, and they kept coming to classes. They kept doing online stuff. You know, and we got through it, and we got through it. And we actually even moved to like a bigger, better place. And
Congrats.
and things are going really well. Yeah, it's going well.
That's
Mark,
awesome, man.
Mark, plug your studio and tell people how they could find you.
Cool. Yeah. So you can check out districthotyoga.deland.com. That's the website, and we're located in the Victoria Commons in DeLand, Florida.
Nice.
You know, we got every class is all levels, all the time. Anybody, doesn't matter how old you are or you know what you think you look like, you're welcome to come here and try it out.
It's cool.
Definitely
It's in my
appreciate
hometown. I wish you were closer, man. I'd be
Maybe Tom, you and your boys can do this.
Yeah, zip down to
it. Yeah,
the
guys,
van
coming down.
and hit
Anytime, look
one.
you up.
They might like it.
I
Yeah.
mean, you'll give it to me for free, right? I mean,
What the hell?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
I
He
just
just
make
said
it
he
sure.
has to work 2 other jobs. Give this man some
Well,
money.
I'll
That's
plug
all
it.
right.
No,
I'll take it for you guys.
I'll put it on my social
Do you
media.
ever-
One post.
Last question. Last question, and I
worth
swear, much like Tom, we never get crass on this show, and I don't want this show to spiral into that type of show. But do you ever get hit on by any men or women that, like, you know, are thinking that the poses are like? Because I've seen the videos, and normally
Hot for teacher.
when all the other yoga people leave, there's usually one straggler, and the straggler's getting it.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, no. I don't. I think they're. I think after class, everybody's too brain dead and worn out to even think about that. So, I think.
Not me.
Yeah.
I'll be laying in the. I'll be laying in the. What's the lay down pose? I always mess up the name.
Savasana.
Savasana. I'm laying in
Yeah.
Savasana, full Bodasana, right? You want Bodasana? I got the biggest Bodasana in town.
Yeah, that,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking around. I'm creepy.
What the
Raise
hell
the
just
flag.
happened? The vetoed crazy. The yoga veto.
All right, Mark, we appreciate it. Thanks for
You
all
guys,
the
thank
info.
you so much. It was awesome talking to you.
Yeah,
no
awesome
problem.
talking to you too, man, and good luck with everything. Good luck with the studio, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Come by anytime.
All
See you
right,
guys
man.
soon.
Be good.
Take care.
What,
See ya.
I hung up.
So nice.
I have one more thing to say. God bless the troops. I'm like, nope. What a nice man.
Yeah.
What a nice man. He is awesome.
It seems like something I would feel better after doing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever done it? You haven't.
No.
I have. And
But I've done
I hate it,
different
but I love it.
planking stuff.
Yeah, but it's just like that. It's
Yeah.
exactly like that. And it is awesome. Like when I start to do it, I hate it. When I finish it, I love it. Always.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Well,
That's like for any exercise for me. Like when I
hate
start it, I
exercise.
hate it. But when I get done with it, I'm like, I should do this all the time. Wow, I feel good. Or wow, I have more energy. Or wow, look at my
Yeah, releases and
like my
work.
back was so bad this morning, and I did like this is why I'm sitting on this side.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch my posture? If you watched it, you'll know how much pain I'm in for my goddamn back. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just I don't know what to do with it at this point. It's just old age now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're a tiny, sick horse. The way I could describe it.
Disgusting pony. At least say it right. I'm a disgusting,
I thought he said oyster at first, and I was like, what?
disgusting mini horse.
Dude, if you look at what the NFL players are doing now for their workout, it's all core exercise. Like,
Yeah.
look at Derrick Henry's workouts. It's all like core. Like, you know, it used to be a thing like I gotta build my biceps and build my pecs and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it turns out like especially for these athletes, like to build your core is the most important part of having like a strong body or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. Like all these yoga exercises is all core exercises, right?
That's what I believe. You know, like
and building core muscle will only do you well, especially in your old age.
Well,
like having a strong core as you get older is important.
Where these athletes are so different now in the things that they do. I'll give you, for instance, it ties in perfectly. Last night was, I believe, the finale of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Sam, can you look up who won Dancing with the Stars? Because I don't want to get his name wrong. He's an NBA player. Cody Rigsby, actually, from Peloton, got third. He did really, really well. But here's a guy. He's a dancer, right?
Yeah.
All of the dancers didn't win. The guy who won is an NBA basketball player who's a mega giant. And when you watch him do his dance at the end, your mind is blown because you're like, look at the flexibility. Flexibility. There's your word.
Yeah.
You look at this guy and you're like, it's not his height that makes him amazing. It's not his strength. It's not anything of that. What makes him amazing is this is a guy who's so big and so tall and huge who can move like a tiny person. It makes it messes with your brain a little bit when you're watching him. He's doing like super fast like dances, and he looks like Andre 3000, which is like looks like a cool guy, and he's doing like a crazy ass dance, and you're like, too big to be doing that. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal, when he first entered the NBA, remember when he entered, he was kind of chubby, and then they leaned him out.
Yeah.
And then you'd see him move, and you'd be like, oh my God, you're like a point guard.
Yeah, those all those
Flexible.
athletes, like it's a giant human that can move really fast. Like it's
mesmerizing.
That's also what like the NFL looks for, right? It's like that we'll teach you how to play the position, but you're a giant, they can move fast,
Yeah.
like you're good. That's like genetic or whatever. That's how the way your body was built.
Yeah, like that video.
And it's
that
weird
came
looking.
Out, was it 2 years ago? The video was it T.O.? And he's older, and they had him, but you're still looking at him, and you're like, look at this, and he's so flexible though.
Oh yeah.
Like the flexibility of like being able to be like, let's say 6'8", 6'6", and then flat hand your hands on the ground, right? I mean, from a standing position, bend all the way down, and then lay your palms flat on the grass.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And just have a lot of muscle. Like most people get stiff or whatever it is, but yeah, it seems like building core muscle is always a good thing. How could that be bad for you or not give you a benefit as you get older?
Well, just in movement, because most of the time what you want to do, like here's my fear, is like as my daughter gets more into dance, more active and wanting to do that kind of stuff, I mean, eventually there is a point where I just assume full disgusting pony and they take me out and they put a bolt in my head, right?
Yeah.
I can't let it happen.
You have to keep yourself strong as you
She's
you
already
get older.
stronger than me.
Yeah.
Pushed me down the stairs yesterday.
Yeah. It's the people that just wither away. Like that's how you die fast. Like
now we could get for this upcoming year, because I think it would be time now for all of us, all three of us, if we include Butler, to start thinking about what we want to do for New Year's resolutions. We could get a yogaman to come here once a week and give us a private yoga.
You guys said you're going to do that
instruction.
with the massage therapist too. That never happened.
No, Brian Simon gave us massages, and then we just like the statute of limitations. He was like,
and
he
then
gave you personal massages?
no, he gave us like a gift card for like a massage.
No,
and
he
then,
had a masseuse.
Yes.
and
Massage therapist.
A massage
I
therapist.
don't. You know what?
You can't say masseuse.
They get mad.
They get mad.
Do they get mad?
Yeah, because masseuse is that one, and massage therapist is not that one.
It's therapy.
Yeah.
No, remember when we had the massage therapist bring her table
Yes,
in, and
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
said we'll do this once a month for
Yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah. When did
never,
we do that?
Never happened.
Yeah. Well, we didn't set up
Like
the
3 years ago.
We didn't set up the payments. Also, it's awkward.
It is awkward. I don't want you guys being around when I'm getting a massage because I get a banasara.
Yeah. I
need to be alone so you can't hear the creepy things I say when I'm chirping to the masseuse.
Oh, do you chirp to the?
Oh, yes.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
my best chirping.
Oh, my God.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not this guy, but tell me, the guys that asked for it, they're weirdos, right? Who would do that? I'm totally not doing that while asking you this.
There is a way to get rich, though, by running like a yoga, because people get rich in yoga. Look at DDP.
Well,
He
gotta-
got
Well,
rich.
he had an audience, right?
You
I
also
mean,
gotta
This is Mark and
find-
Deland. I don't
No,
know.
I know,
You
but that
gotta-
means there are
Mark,
other.
if Mark wants to get rich, he's got to do what DDP did. And you got to find yourself somebody that can tug on everyone's heartstrings to get. I am being serious here. I'm not taking anything away from that. The stories are all great, But if you want people to buy into what you're doing, you have to give them proof that there is something beyond the sadness, right?
Yeah.
So you got to find the guy that can't walk. You got to get him in the yoga. He loses the weight. You can increase his flexibility. If you get him to walk, then boom, you've done it.
Yeah. Then you put that out, it goes viral.
You've done it.
But you got to sell some online component, right?
Well, you got to have it accessible for people to get. So as soon as that breaks, the business aspect, as soon as that story gets out there and starts getting traction and is viral, you need a quick way for people to be able to access your program, right? And that's what he did, and that's why he's so successful. Plus, his program's really good, DDP's. I've done it. It's good.
You know what I didn't?
Hard.
I totally forgot to ask Mark, like, how the hell he makes his entire studio a sauna? Like, do you have to build a...
Oh, God, we didn't even ask him about the hot part.
yeah. Well, like...
God, we're so stupid.
Like, I forgot. He said it was, how hot did he say?
I set fire to a body.
I
I hope it's something weird.
It gets up to 100 degrees or something, right? Or, like...
105.
So that has to be done. Like, you can't just get a regular room up to 105.
We can do it here. Let's start doing hot podcasts.
Oh man.
No, but
You guys never like any of my ideas, and I'm trying to be.
We
I'm
couldn't
trying
get
to
this-
disrupt the system, and you guys are just status quo Johnnies.
like, to get somewhere, you would have to build some sort of heat system or sauna. And
Why don't you just turn on the heat?
You couldn't get it up to 105. You couldn't.
Why not?
There's no way the heater, a regular heater, wouldn't
You
get
just
that
tell
hot.
people it's 105.
It would probably get up to what, 89, 90, not even probably 90.
How hot can you get your house based on? Has anybody ever tried to get their house as hot as humanly possible?
We should ask, how hot
Can we do that here? How hot can we get this studio?
I've never gotten my house over 77 degrees.
Oh my God!
Really?
Well, I mean,
82
I'm
is
talking
where
about,
it's
like-
normal in our house.
I'm talking about where
It was 80 in here the other day, and we were all boiling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying using the heater.
Right,
like in the summer, yes. If you turn off your heat, you'll get your house as
Yeah, I
hot
guess
as
I've
it
never
is outside.
tried.
But that's what I'm saying. How hot can you get your house and the inside?
Ew.
Who runs their house
Like
the hottest
95?
naturally? Yeah, I bet you like 90, 91.
I don't even. Will a heater get that hot? Because it may not be even designed to ever. Because why would anybody want that?
It's only
Right.
designed to fight against cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
it's only designed to get to back to 75 or
Well,
77.
No, not even 70. I bet
If
you
it's
it's designed to get to like 68, 70 at like I'm saying if you're like
If it's-
sub-zero conditions
Yeah,
and you're
30.
firing it up from jump, they're gonna we'll give you 65.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
as good as we can
Why
get.
would you want 85? Like, who wants their hot? Like,
I don't
So,
even know if you could
I'm
get
just
it.
Googling, hot yoga studios.
How come no one's ever talked about this? I feel like we're real revolutionaries. You're talking about how your heater works in your house. You don't even know how it works.
And it says they use infrared heaters, and it's generally between 96 and 106 degrees.
Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
runs his at 105.
So he's just using portable infrared heaters.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. I thought you have to build a system or some sort of sauna system
I'd
because
love
you
to
wouldn't.
go and do it.
Yeah, me too.
You wouldn't use steam because that would mildew everything. Right?
Oh
My mat is
well,
moldy.
They might have a problem with that anyway. I'm sure that this is another question.
When people
we
sweating
blew it.
gallons of water.
Get Mark back
Like,
on the
what do you
line.
do? Do you then you got to hose out you got to hose it out. If you get some chungus in there, like you get a big boy in there, and it's wet everywhere, right?
Yeah. You probably have to hose the entire.
And sometimes that has nothing to do with you being a big boy. I'm a sweater.
Yeah, me too.
Once I start going, it's done. You and I used to do the Orlando City match. You'd be standing on the
Oh.
field, or both of us would look like we're wearing underwire bras because the ring of sweat would go right under our buds.
Your cups.
And everybody
That's
was
why
like,
they didn't
"Hey,
want it
nice T-words, Tom and Dad.
like two fat slobs.
Hey, look at this. We got the dumb guy and the disgusting pony. All right. Well done. Hey, you're still doing your podcast? Oh, who died in this coffin?
All right, bye.
Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome back to Recalculus.
So we've got some new merch on
Oh, I should have said
TommyDan.com.
Recalculousness. That would have made more
Yeah.
sense, right? Damn it.
That's fine.
Blew it.
So grab some new merch. We've got some. Should I even say it? Some promotional Christmas stuff coming up, and we'll tell you more about it when it's up there. But all new merch is at TommyDan.com.
All right. So Sam sent us a video. This is hot off the presses from TMZ. It says, and I quote, courtesy of TMZ, 80s teen star Tiffany is still on the road singing her hits, but her latest show in Florida struck a sour note between the singer and her fans. All right. Put this up here so we can all see it.
Is she cursing crazy, probably?
That I don't know. I
She
haven't
is
watched
a
the
bit
video.
of a potty mouth, right? I thought she was a bit of a sailor.
don't
So,
know.
where is this at? It's some biker bar?
It's Iron Oak Post in Melbourne. Actually, the Supervillains just played there like last weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it just like a bigger destination bar?
It's not that big.
Oh, okay.
It's a kind of a small little bar.
So
Like-
what do they pay Tiffany for doing this thing?
5 G's?
$5,000?
Yeah, that sounds probably
10 G's
about
at
right.
the most?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Now, if you're Tiffany,
Is it worth
do
the-
you know going into this that this is a biker bar? And I'm not dissing biker bars. Look, they have their place, and I like biker bars. If I'm on a motorcycle and me and my dad are on a poker run.
Is it a biker bar?
And is it like, well, it's got a biker bar name. It's no offense, but it does.
Yeah.
We're the Iron Spoke, what is it called?
Iron Oak.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
everything's made out of wood.
but it's
Oh,
not.
is it like a beach bar?
No, beach bars
not-
sound like beach bars, Tom. And I'm not dissing this bar. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm just going on. I'm being Johnny Headline here, right?
So Samantha said Supervillains played there, so maybe it is
yeah,
more
they have like
a-
craft beers and ciders
All right.
and stuff.
It sounds like a biker bar.
I mean, it's not. It's in Melbourne.
Like any
Right.
post, anything called a post is usually a biker
Hitch
bar.
and poke. Come on down to the
that's-
hitch and poke.
That's because the wood came from like the old post office building.
Ah.
But it has iron in it too, which
Yeah,
is also
iron,
So
yeah.
that's because no, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Well, okay, it's a
Anyway.
beach bar. We
Yeah.
got it all wrong. It's a beach bar, craft beer vibe. Supervillains just
Yeah.
played there. Sounds like a great spot. Tiffany shows up there. She's gonna play, and this happens.
And not our friend Tiffany.
no,
the
no,
singer
thank you. Yeah,
Tiffany.
this is
The 80s pop star.
yeah, 80s pop star Tiffany. Here we go.
Well, what is she doing?
Oh man. Like this.
What
Okay,
happened?
first of all, I don't want to be mean, but I didn't know that was Tiffany.
Well, you know.
No, I'm not. It just like even the face. Like I'm just looking at purely on like, is that like I don't know who that is. I'm looking at her. I'm like, all right, Tiffany, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, yeah, I believe it is.
Sure.
Tiffany, the 80s
So
star.
I don't know how true this is, but someone in the chat said that she was hammered on pints of whiskey and she was singing barefoot. I
Okay.
can't really tell.
Well, now I like her better.
yeah, me
Like,
too.
Yeah, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
we can party now.
Although not the best pregame for a performance.
I've
you
done
know.
it though, so I'm with you, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for her to turn on the fans.
I mean,
though.
when the sound went out and Dan Cummins was on stage at our event at OLE, I was drinking
Yeah.
a lot.
She's just ad-libbing?
So why'd you get mad? Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
She got...
I've been singing it right.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I love the guy just continues to strum. He's
has
not
to.
even acknowledging.
He has to. He has
Oh.
to.
Oh, man. Her voice.
Yeah,
I like she's doing the Mariah Carey stick my finger in my ear to pretend like I'm hearing my notes,
but so
but
she can't hear herself. I think.
I don't think she can, though.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, like I can barely get through a show with I'm trying to. So imagine the pints of whiskey,
Oh,
and
drying out her throat.
and you've been singing for
She
50,
probably has COVID because she's in Melbourne.
30
Oh,
years.
man.
You've
Everybody
been-
gets it when they come to
And
Florida.
you're just
that's true.
screaming
That's
your
true.
voice
Ari,
out.
Ari Shafir
Everybody.
did. Or he claimed
Joe
to.
Rogan.
Everybody. You come to Florida, you get
Yeah.
COVID.
Don't you?
Funny thing is, we don't. I don't have it. I'm here.
Don't you? Just give up. Right?
No.
Like you're like I can't sing my
Well,
voice.
who are you
Listen.
talking about? Are you talking about her? Or are you talking about the guy playing? Here, let's finish.
No,
it,
not
the
her.
video.
Like you just say my voice. I can't. You hear it?
Let's
It
finish.
sounds like it's destroyed.
Yeah, it is bad.
It's. I mean, you. Trying to sing with laryngitis.
Yeah, she's
She
not,
should start doing Rancid covers.
Yeah, she's not hitting, trying to get away into the night, and then I put my. That's the key it's in, or
She
whatever.
needs to go to punk rock.
She's
She's too raspy.
No,
now.
she just destroyed her voice. I don't know if she smokes. I don't know if she drinks every night.
She played Epcot like a year or two ago, and she sounded fine.
She doesn't look like this though. This looks a little rough. Like maybe psychologically, maybe she's in a different spot.
Also, you have
When
to
you're
take,
sad, you drink a lot.
but you got to take care of your voice as a singer every day, right? Like
You
if
and I are going through this problem right now with the copious amounts of caffeine
Yeah.
that we drink and over talking. We're destroying our voices.
Also, as you age, everything gets worse. So she has. You'd think because this is still the way she makes her money. That she
Yeah.
would be careful with her voice. I don't know. Like, it's
No,
just like,
it
hey,
doesn't work like that, man.
It doesn't?
No, because
Shut up.
It's how you guys make your money. You don't take care of your voice.
Nah.
But
either.
not to this
But,
extent.
yeah,
I mean,
she's a singer.
Look, we make jokes about it. We're open about it. Like, she's not even addressing the fact that she can't sing the songs. She's acting as if everything is okay.
No, she said, this is my hit. I'm going to sing it right. And then she goes into singing it wrong again.
No, what I mean by that, though, is like she is giving no indication to the audience that her voice has anything wrong with it. She's not saying, like, I'm a little rough
sorry,
tonight.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Right.
She's acting as if this is the way she sounded back when she was 17. And it just, I know there's a problem with that. Like, I know that my voice has changed. I've been in this business for, 25 years now? Like, if you go back and listen to me back in the day and you listen to me now, I've obviously done some damage to my voice, but not like that. My God.
like you have to acknowledge if you're struggling to even get noise out, like because it's like you heard someone talk with laryngitis. It's like they struggle to even make a noise, and it's all raspy and airy, and like that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like,
And she's making
destroyed.
it worse by singing through it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's hurting me. It's like watching someone smoke with a hole in the
I like that, though. I like it when the smoke comes through the hole. Like, I like
and you're
that.
like, no, you're doing too much.
I like that.
You've already ruined it, and you're still doing it.
Man, that's sad.
Yeah.
I would like to know what they paid her, though.
Yeah.
Because it's a guitar and her, right? This isn't even full band.
Right.
And is this her only hit, right?
That's the only one I really know.
So what else did she
Well-
sing when you go to see a Tiffany acoustic?
Other hits from the 80s.
So she does like
maybe some covers.
Okay, that's cool.
I have no idea. I'm just guessing. And then a bar will pay her $5,000, and her name alone will draw. So, and the performance, honestly, it gave this bar even more publicity because now it's on TMZ and
Right.
millions of people see it. So the bar's got to be happy, right? I mean, maybe that's what you do. You you hire Tiffany, you pay her
Oh my
$5,000, you
God.
feed
I don't
her.
like that.
No, I do.
You feed
I
her a
do.
bunch
You
of
know,
white
whiskey,
them.
and you're like, "This is gonna be an
You're a
S
genius. This
show."
goes
Wait a
back-
minute. Supervillains played the night before.
Well, I mean, but the supervillains are not going to make national news on TMZ if they, Scar falls off the stage, gets too drunk,
No, he-
playing drinking
Plus,
tonight.
he's too. Honestly,
You know,
what's
dare you.
funny? You know what's funny about Scart? It's
But-
too much of a pro to do that.
I know,
He ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do this.
yeah.
Scart and Dom, if they're
He
if
sounds
Dom's,
better when he's drunk.
If Dom's voice is blown out, I don't believe he's gonna. And he's this drunk. I believe he's gonna go. I can't do it. F you. You're like he's
Yeah, yeah.
right. That's more Dom.
He
Is-
wouldn't do it
too
and
much of a pro.
sound crappy.
No,
You know.
especially after just releasing their brand new record, which you can get. It's called Drones EP. Check it out. This is sad.
The
Yeah.
worst time ever to do anything embarrassing because, like I was telling Samantha, every single human now has an HD camera in their pocket that can instantly share whatever they're watching with the world, right?
That's why I stopped picking my nose.
And
For life.
And so whatever you do, like 30 years ago, even when video cameras existed, you'd still have to upload it. You'd have to put a wire together to your computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people wouldn't do it. Too lazy. Now it's just one button click to the world. Share.
Yeah.
And
well, sometimes you can just go live right to the website. You don't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
need it.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
saving a step.
so you cannot do anything embarrassing anymore and it not be on video for the world to see.
Now, what's funny
that's
is
just the reality.
somebody put this name in there. Cartoon Buffoon says she does Debbie Gibson. I don't know what that means, but he does mention, or she does mention Debbie Gibson, which is basically the 180 of this. Debbie Gibson is looks probably more healthy than she even did when she was younger, because I think she's like all about health now, as you get older, that's kind of what happens, right? Because you're you see death and you're like, well, I better hold on to this for a while.
Well, you're like, if I keep doing what I did,
Yeah.
it's not going to be good.
But then she was on Dancing with the Stars or one of these shows, and you look at her and you're like, and then she sings and she still sings even as good or better than she did. because
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like really taking care of herself. So, I mean, there are people that do that you see them and you're like if you look at somebody like Tony Bennett, I don't know
Yeah.
if he just recently died or if he's still alive, but there's a guy that like literally was singing in his old people traditionally, if they're like your Elvises and these people that are like
They
really.
literally like walked him out there when he had dementia. And I'm
But
like,
he's still
"Oh,
sang
I
good.
know,
But my
yeah.
point is that
It's
there are a
so
lot of
sad,
people that
though.
they can't even hit the notes, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there's some people like there's a reason that they gave Johnny Cash 9 Inch Nails sheet music and like sing this quick. You know, you're dying and you're not getting any better, you know. I hurt myself. You know, I mean he wasn't known as an amazing vocalist, but certainly could have done a better job when he was younger, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, look at Tom Brady. If you
There
want,
you go.
If you want to see what you'd have to do to be a high-level athlete for a long
And your voice
period
is
of time,
no different, right?
Yeah, and then it's like it's all about taking care of yourself and then like training.
Actually,
and all
harder
of
with
the-
your voice. I'll make an argument that it's harder with your voice than Tom Brady because Brady can bring in little pieces to compensate for maybe he's a half a second slower here, but he's still got the knowledge, right? He just has to have everybody else around him in the system be a little bit better. For a vocalist, it's so individual that if your voice starts to go, I mean, unless you change the keys, you get guys like Rod Stewart that'll take a song that they just can't sing anymore, like let's say Maggie or something, you know, like a song like that,
And
They'll
drop it down.
Yeah, they'll
now.
drop it down a couple octaves or something in order to take care of it, put it in a different key and stuff like that. I mean, that's what you got to do, and she should have done that.
And there's no fixing it, right? Like
Can't get it back.
you can't do anything to your vocal cords or whatever to like repair it.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, like once the damage
Now,
is there.
will they get to a point where maybe artificially, like through like some sort of computers, they put a permanent auto tune in there, and I sound like a
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean that's cool, but as of right now, I believe like because I have a nodule, I had I don't think I got a full node on my vocal cord, but I did do I ruptured one. You remember that when I had to draw on the chalkboard?
Yeah,
and I had to do
yeah.
3 weeks vocal rest.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it'll since then I've never been the same. Like my register's changed, you know, like the notes that I can hit, you know, how far I can stretch my voice, the duration. One of the things I noticed, if I sing like in Christmas, like Christmas song, you sing the hymns in church.
Yeah.
About the third hymn, I can feel like it's tired. It's like, man, I'm out.
It like what does someone like Crystal was watching that Oprah Winfrey Adele interview thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did that happen recently or
Yeah.
something? Okay. And it was like they basically had her perform, and then the interview they just spliced it in between. But like someone like Adele, what does she do? Like there's probably a
She
full
had to
time.
have surgery too.
Yeah, John
She blew
Mayer
out
had to
her,
have
vocal
surgery.
cords.
Adele had to have surgery. There's a bunch of people that have had surgery. A lot of Celine Dion, I believe, has done it. A lot of times they do vocal rest. They're just quiet.
Their regiment, I wonder, do they have a professional that like takes care? Because like her voice is basically her entire business and a lot of millions of dollars. Like, so you have to have a full time person. Like, or is there someone?
Throat specialist.
Yeah, is there someone like a doctor that's checking her and making sure she's like doing some sort of treatments and like all
I'm
that
sure.
stuff? Or,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like having enough hydration and like checking her vocal cords.
I would
with
imagine
scopes
it's
and-
exactly the same or more than what Brady does for his health.
Yeah, because it's worth
Now,
you know.
but that's Adele. Axl Rose, no. Depending on the style of music now he may because he's ultra rich and super famous. But if you're like a rock star and you just happen to have a really good voice, or if you're like an old school R&B guy and you happen to have like a really good voice and you're young, I don't necessarily know that you do that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you might throw caution to the wind and be like, "Oh, I'll have this forever. Who cares?"
Yeah. Well, dude, Whitney Houston was smoking
my
crack.
God, dude.
Right? She was like
Yeah, there's an excellent
smoking
example.
crack, and then she could go out and then sing
and
better than
kill
any
it.
human. Yeah.
Some people just
Genetics?
got it
Is that
too.
just genetics?
Well, some people can eat Skittles and just run really fast in the NFL too, right?
Now,
I mean, like
now, if Whitney Houston would still be alive today and would have kept up that lifestyle,
she
it
was
probably,
already having issues. You
yeah,
can hear
it
it.
probably would have screwed her up eventually.
Yeah,
but
you can hear it.
at her prime, it didn't probably matter. She could do whatever she wants. She could smoke a pack of cigarettes and
I don't know
still been
that
good.
this. I don't know this to be true, but I can only imagine that like I know when I've vaped or I know when I've smoked a cigarette. I know when I've drank like alcohol how my throat feels. I can only imagine how my throat would feel after crack. And I would think that it would be very, very bad for your throat. Right? It's super caustic, I can imagine. I'm being serious. Like, I don't know what that gas is, but it's got to be, like, up in the top.
Yeah,
worst.
there's a lot of chemicals. Yeah. Besides from the cocaine, there's other
I just
stuff.
imagine a cloud of yellow sulfur gas that's like poison what you would see in a video game.
Yeah.
When they're trying to kill you in the video game, there's your crack.
Yeah. I mean, even our friend Tiffany, she would say performing in bars that allowed smoking back in the day would ruin her voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had to stop performing in any sort of places that allowed smoking, and like the Vegas clubs were killing her because of that stuff. Just being around secondhand smoke would dry you out or whatever.
That's kind of how I did mine. We had performed at some smoky ass bar, and after that's when I found out that I'd ruptured a vocal cord.
How does someone like the lead singer of
That
Rancid...
you're going to do someone like you. That you're going to go bust out Adele.
So, but like...
You guys heard the new album?
It's great.
It's
yeah.
the saddest.
How does that guy...
It's so sad, though.
Yeah, it is sad.
Why is
like,
it sad?
it is not a, like, hey, we're chilling out.
It's a song about her going through depression after getting a divorce.
Yeah, no, I get
Adele,
it.
Adele.
I completely get it, but it's just too... No, ain't nobody got time for that, Adele. Didn't you see 2021? Just because you got a divorce, you're supposed to uplift us and make us feel better.
It's Sad Girl Fall. I don't know if you heard.
No, I don't need Sad Girl Fall. I need, like, Hot Boy.
We had Taylor Swift's re-release.
I didn't realize
Then Adele.
that Adele... I just never had heard interviews with her besides this Oprah one. I didn't realize she talks like Amy Winehouse.
She's British.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she's
no,
like
but
that
like-
country British.
Yeah.
Cockney.
She's like
redneck British.
Yeah.
Oh, you go red. You're right. Yeah.
I
love her.
I love her too. It's not a
I
diss.
thought you were a fancy princess.
Oh, no, she cusses crazy. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adele. She's like,
Yeah.
I want a hot dog.
Yeah. You are like a
You
hooligan.
talk like a cartoon hippopotamus with a bowling hat on. Like, what are you doing? You sound like
yeah.
a...
Oh,
you
Adele,
talk
yeah,
like
yeah.
a cartoon walrus.
And then I'm like, oh, I see
I
a little forearm tattoo. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, she
little
parties.
trashy.
She parties
Trashy.
a little,
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you
Yeah.
from Florida, Adele? I'm getting
Yeah.
a banana. What was that? The banana. What
know.
are you doing? Yeah, she's funny, man. Like they did the interview with her. You saw the interview with her when they first released the album, where they said that that she hurt Peppa Pig's feelings. Did you guys see that one?
No.
And then they had the voice actress from Peppa Pig, like BBC One or BBC Two, had the voice actress call in and was like, "Hello, Adele. You made me so mad when you..." Like, it was funny.
Also, Adele, I'm like, get out of here. You
Well,
stupid-
you don't. I don't know Peppy the Pig. I know. You get out of here.
Well, how does someone like the singer for Rancid sing for that long without
it's
killing
bad.
your voice?
He already, he's killed his voice too.
I think you also
he
dedicate
still does it, right?
yourself to...
Yeah.
Well, but like now he's there, right? And I think he's going to sound like that. Like, if that's your thing, like Lemmy from Motorhead, like once they get
That's
there...
your signature sound.
Yeah, that's your sound. And if you're okay with it, like...
But is every time you're singing doing microscopic damage to your voice to the point where it builds up? Or
I think those guys, especially Rancid, I think they're so pro now that they know they also
don't tour that often.
No, and they've always known what their sound is going to be. Like
Yeah.
you know when you're getting Rancid what you're going to get. Like, I don't think they have it. They absolutely know who they are as a band.
Or I'm just talking about like the singers that scream, the gravelly,
Somebody in the Twitch chat room nailed a great one. M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh yeah, that's screaming. But there's a way to do it. Like
there's a way to do it without damaging your
Matt
voice.
Hafey from Trivium.
He's a scientist of music. Matt Hafey is a different animal, man. That guy is on a whole different level than anybody else. I'll use the
talk
term
about vocal training and stuff.
Yeah.
Why I use the term nerd as a compliment. He is a scientist of metal and video games and new media and rock and roll. That guy is brilliant.
Yeah, and trains.
Oh, we got to reach back out to him, Sam. I'll give you his number.
But like he does the vocal training to be able to
He
do
does
that to your voice.
He does the throat yoga. Like, he's always doing the warm-ups and he's putting in the time, like doing things I don't see musicians do anymore. Like, Matt Hafey's so inspiring. He's fun to watch on his Twitch channel because you will see a guy who has been to the Grammys. You'll see a guy that has toured with the biggest, knows Metallica. They all know him. They send him the whiskey, when they release it, and they sign him a handwritten, "Oh, we miss you on tour, Matt." Like that's the level that this guy's at. And then you'll go on Twitch and you'll see him doing like just little hand warm-ups that kids can do in their bedroom, the same warm-ups, right? To get to shred and get fast. And he's just still doing it. And then people ask, well, how do you become successful? That's how.
Train every day.
Yeah, that guy he's like 3 hours of guitar, 3 hours of vocal warm-ups, 3 hours of gaming because my mind is important, 3 hours of jujitsu because flexibility in my body is important.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Well, that's how like the most successful people schedule their days out to be as efficiently as possible and to constantly gain in whatever you're doing, which is insanely hard. Who's got the discipline for that?
Norm says
the most successful people do.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
Norm in our Twitch chat room says Billy Joel had what? Throat cancer? Everybody says he sounds different live, or was that Elton, or both? I thought Billy sounded phenomenal live when we saw him New Year's that one time. Now Elton, it does sound different because you'll notice he takes everything down octaves, and he does the Horatio Sands Elton John voice.
Yeah. Well, they're, both in their 60s, right?
Have to be.
Yeah.
Have to be.
So.
But I believe that my vote, and I'll probably get shade for this, I believe Billy Joel sounds better. I've been to both live in the same year, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, currently...
Yeah,
Billy Joel's 72.
Yeah, currently Billy Joel sounds better than Elton's got whoa, he's going to take everything like low.
And Elton's 74. So
yeah,
they're both in their 70s.
When Elton sings, it's like that.
Yeah.
Because he can't.
Yeah. Dude, you're 70 years old. Like, my God. You're still singing at that age is crazy.
Do you want to see another meltdown of someone?
Yes, you've been holding out on us.
I sent you the Wes Scantlin from Puddle of Mud. He had another meltdown.
Oh man, why are
he was
they
mad at the lighting
doing
guy
this?
at his show.
Oh God, is this in Florida too?
I don't think so.
At a not biker bar, sounds like a biker bar.
Let's
Is that
see.
where we're at now?
At the Epic Event Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
All right, you want a hot take? I like Wes Scantlin's look. I always have. To me, he always looks right. I look at that guy. I'm like, you look like rock and roll. You're like a trash man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the video?
It's all the way at the bottom. Yeah,
okay, there it is. I got it.
There's cursing in here. I don't know if they've bleeped it out like TMZ did with the Tiffany thing, but...
Nice of TMZ to do
Right?
that.
Yelling at the old lighting...
It always goes well.
Stage person.
It always goes well when you yell at the lighting guy. They love that too. Okay, hold on here. There we go. Boop. Got it. Don't want to sign up for that. So many click-throughs.
Let's get it over and just get naked.
Okay.
Is he just covering his
He
eyes?
is covering his eyes because he says
Why-
he's being blinded by the light.
Why not just look down instead of making a scene?
Right?
So again, you're under the influence.
Also, you have a
right?
hat backwards. Turn it to the front.
Oh,
right?
you sound like my dad now, Grandma. I like
Well,
that.
if the lights are blinding you, right?
You're right.
Just
I mean, that's what the bill's for.
Well, also, why isn't the lighting person recognizing the fact that they
Because I don't
obviously-
think that's the issue. I think he's messed up on something.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else seems to be
Also,
bothered by
a
the
lot of
lights.
times, notoriously, and okay, this is not on the side of Wes or any other lead singer, but notoriously, when lighting guys go, "Hey, there's too much light in my eyes," it takes a solid 3 minutes to get that light turned out every time.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if lighting guys notoriously set the light, start the show, and then go smoke a cigarette. I'm just throwing that out there. Because
He's not
it
talking about you, Owen.
certainly not. Absolutely. Hold on.
You know
I
what?
am talking about Owen. Owen 100. You know what? Let's talk to Owen and see why lighting guys do that.
Also, is there? We need to talk to someone in production and stage management. I'm sure they're
that
not
would
going
be
to
our
admit.
guy.
They're not going to admit this, but when different levels of artists are performing, you care those different levels. For instance, if a famous person that
Adele.
you consider famous or that's more famous worldwide, you're catering to them more and trying harder than
100%.
if Puddle of Mud comes through.
But you see that just at any show. All the opening bands always get the worst treatment. Like their sound always sucks. The lighting
They-
sucks. And
they-
then the main band comes on and you're like, okay, well, the sound isn't bad here. It's just you guys didn't give a crap about the opening band.
Yeah, they're lucky if they get a sound check. I mean, we
Right,
were forever an opening band. All my bands were always opening bands. Never.
Most of them don't get a sound check. Yeah.
Hell no, we ain't get no sound check. You get up there, you'd be lucky if you get if they put the mics on your drums. You know, you just like okay, well, they'll be like, we'll do it later when then the real band shows up.
Kind of weird because that person's job is to make the best for everybody showing up. So you should be motivated by the fact that you want the sound and the lights to be good for the entire show.
Right.
Now, when does he freak out? This is like 3 minutes long.
I don't know. Again, I haven't watched any of this video.
We'll play
Just
a little
kind of jump
more,
around.
and then I'll skip through it here. All right, there.
Oh,
okay.
no.
they
hell.
turned
The
off
music
the-
stopped.
Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Okay, they're turning the lights down.
So now he's standing there in the dark.
Right.
There was no light on him,
Saying
and he still had his
something-
hands
right.
up, which is
That's what I'm
weird.
saying. I don't think it's the lighting
Why,
guys.
Oh, here he
Oh
goes.
no. Sounds like a lot of people there,
I
right?
don't know why the lights have to be blinding me for this whole show. Hell, now I can see all you people. But if you guys were standing up here where I'm at right now, it's like a fucking flashlight blinking in your fucking head.
Perfect
I don't
explanation.
think that's fucking cool. Really.
Deep thought, man.
Oh my God, it's
Not really a meltdown,
no,
but you know,
more
like
of a like.
yeah. Like this, I feel
So
wouldn't
entitled,
even
my God.
make the news.
It did not get headlined on TMZ like Tiffany did, but
it's just like he's complaining a little bit about the lights. Not that big of a deal. Like a meltdown to me.
well, in the article it goes on to say like he started cussing out the lighting guy, and he also was slurring all of his lyrics to all of his songs. So clearly some substance.
So now
issues.
you go though to see if he's going to put on a scene now though, right? It's not like attendance was hurting. You heard the crowd. It sounded like a lot
I
of
don't know
people
who
were
else
there.
were playing that night, but sound like quite a few people there.
God, that's a shame.
I also sent you that WWE superstar video. Superstar Seth Rollins attacked by a fan during Monday Night Raw.
The worst time.
Yes.
It's the worst time in the world than it's ever been to be a rock star, right?
A celebrity in general?
No, well, the thing is about a rock star is like if you were a rock star, in my mind, back in the day, you were allowed to act like a D-head and be a diva and trash your hotel room and basically do whatever you wanted because that's what rock stars did in my mind or whatever. So, and then there was just these legends of what you did in Kansas City when you went through,
Like Keith Moon when he rode his motorcycle through the hallways of a hotel. I mean,
So
like
you get a license to be a D-head.
because we didn't see it, right? Because we didn't see HD video of it. So all we did is we imagined
Built these
what
fantasies.
well,
Yes,
a lot of
and
it
the
got
fantasy-
overblown. Yeah.
and the fantasy in my mind made the rock star look cooler and not worse, and then now we see it in HD video, and you're like, well, that's not cool. You're slurring.
Yeah,
and you're,
we humbled them.
Yeah, you're like, because it's all we
don't give him the benefit of the doubt because you can't. You have proof. You
Right.
get to see it. So there's no cushioning of the blow, right?
there's
Like
no
if you describe to Andrea me acting out here, let's say I got drunk here and just started destroying the studio.
Yeah.
You telling her is going to be a lot better for me than her watching the video of me destroying the studio.
or the people out there
Yes.
or the listeners seeing it, because when you see it,
There's no sugar on top. There's no love involved.
the theater of the mind is you're doing something, maybe it's the way people fantasize about it. It's like you're doing it in a cool way or whatever. Like, and the reality is always a sad. You're just
Yeah.
slobbering. Like
Yeah,
you're
it's never
slurring.
good.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's sad. It's always sad in reality.
Yes.
But the fantasy was always cooler than the reality, and now we're seeing the reality. So
Killing
it's-
your dreams.
It's killing everything, right? And the worst time to be a rock star because you can't do any of this stuff anymore without people seeing video of it. So
Yeah, if you're like doing drugs in your hotel room and then the video gets released, or you're banging a bunch of people and videos get released, yeah.
Or you party a little too much before a show and you're slurring a little bit, or you forget the lyrics of a song. Before, it wouldn't matter. On to the next city. Now it's on TMZ and we're like, look how drunk this guy got.
And then news
you're
travels
like,
so fast that the potential sponsors that underwrite or prop up your tour have the decision.
They'll drop you,
Yeah, it certainly.
Or it affects ticket sales for the next, none of that stuff would matter. You could do whatever you wanted on stage.
Yeah.
And who cares?
There's no way to communicate.
Hearsay, people would tell the story and it'd be good for you.
Yeah.
Now it's just sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's well said.
And you got to be a pro now at all times, and you can't slip up, and you can't get too drunk, and you can't make mistakes because it's going to be displayed to the world.
Yeah.
So here is the next people acting.
Internet videos.
I mean, maybe the theme here has all just been people like on stage, like acting out or acting strange. I mean, just like highlight crazy people. Because this guy.
But if you do it every single night, one night is going to be off in some way, or even like a small part where like a puddle of mud guy's yelling at the guy or whatever.
Well,
and then
here's the
had a couple too many beers.
In these two cases that we've both highlighted before we get to the Seth Rollins video, is that in Orlando or where'd this happen? At an event? Probably not Orlando.
It's Monday Night Raw.
No, that wouldn't have been Orlando. I don't even know where they're at. They're back on tour, I believe, and things are as close to being back to regular WWE. But the thing I was going to say that
New York, NYPD arrested this guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And WWE saying totally not fake. This is real. He was arrested. We'll get to that video in a second. But the thing that I feel bad about, but the thing that is very important in the demise of these type of performances is the backing band. Like you saw in the Tiffany video, and everybody was commenting about the guitarist who's like playing for his life dependence on.
Yeah.
He probably feels that way. Maybe it's hard to get gigs out there. Wes Cantlin's band. Those guys don't want to be embarrassed like that. At least I don't think they do. I mean, I think I'm pretty good in guessing that they would prefer to go out there and play Puddle of Mud songs really well and then just get paid for the night. So you would hope that these things would start to dry up, right? Like that these musicians would have other gigs that they could pull away from these type of events. And that's how it stops, right? When people don't want to work with you anymore.
Yeah.
But obviously people are paying because they're able to pay their musicians and keep them out there.
Yeah. I mean, how much it actually affects now the Tiffany thing, I think at this point she's playing beachside bars and for whatever they'll pay her, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
And these beachside bars are going to pay the $3,000 because her name will draw, right? And so what does it matter? And that night sales, they'll make it up, and then maybe she does something crazy, and then it gets on TMZ, and you get your money's worth.
So better gamble with Tiffany than with Puddle of Mud or Wes Cantlin.
Yeah, because Wes has like a history of
doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, all right, well, here, we'll jump to this video too. I don't want to forget about this guy. So here we are. This is, was this last night? Yeah,
yes.
Last night. He's walking off. Seth Rollins walking off. Here comes guy that shouldn't be there.
Tackled him full speed. I'm kind of impressed by the fan that did that because
here's another version.
This
of
might be the better angle.
This guy's a huge
Yeah, this
man.
is just like a fat dad that runs on the ramp. Look, it does make me.
So the fat dad speared him.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
He got him good.
You can see Finn Balor, the other wrestler in the ring, when they roll him over and he's doing the normal huffing and puffing, I'm checking on you. You can see his eye cut out because they're trust me when I tell you, knowing wrestlers the way I think I do, they take their safety and the other guy's safety in the ring seriously. You can see his eyeball. He looks to see if Seth Rollins needs help. He's like, whoa, that's not on the script.
Right.
You can see him look over like, I'm about to break character, run over there and help him beat this fat dad's ass.
Yeah.
That's what look at his eye.
Also, like Seth Rollins.
Look at his eye, right? Hold on, right here. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Seth Rollins kind of played into it like he's still.
Well, they're pros,
because he doesn't know. Like he probably is like, oh my god, is this supposed to happen? Did they throw like?
Right.
Well, he knows it's not supposed to happen, but he also knows he's a pro, and as long as that guy isn't stabbing him, he knows I'm going to beat this guy's ass.
Right.
Yeah. Or I'll let him tackle me. I'll play into it, and then
Look at his eye though. Look at he breaks character, right? Right. Hold on, right. You'll see him look up. Right? there. You can see him looking over, like he's like looking. He shouldn't be looking. Normally, you're pretending like you're passed out. You're huffing him. He looks over at the guy, like, what is happening over there?
Does the wrestler that got tackled start punching the guy?
I would.
Or did he just hold on to him until security comes?
Back in the day, they would. You remember that old John Stossel and Dr. Death video where John Stossel asked him if wrestling's fake, and he slapped the hearing out of his. He literally ruptured his eardrum.
Yeah.
And I remember going to wrestling matches with my dad where fights would break out, and
the wrestlers would slap the
audience
members and stuff.
This is a first-hand account from a little boy who went to wrestling with my dad and my dad's friend David Martin. My dad's friend David Martin was like 6'8". We've told these stories before. My dad would yell and scream. They're like total mismatch. We're sitting there. I think it was like a match, like it was Hacksaw. Was it not Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Blackjack Mulligan.
Okay.
Remember Blackjack Mulligan?
I remember the name.
And so they're like, they'd walk through the crowd and people were like hitting him. And this was a time when wrestlers, if you're like slapping them and it hurt, they'll just slap you back.
Yeah,
They could slap the crowd. You could do that.
Yeah.
And they would look at the ladies and they would say the things like, all of you women here want to sleep with me. Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
And if you touched them in any way, they'll push you to the ground,
Yeah, because a lot of them were like contracted, so they weren't like
I don't think they cared. They were drunk.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't no billion-dollar business behind them that the audience member could sue crazy.
You're a territory in Tennessee.
Yeah. Good luck. Who are you going to sue? Blackjack Mulligan?
Yeah, good luck. I'm already in my Cadillac on to the next venue, right?
Yeah. There's no LLC involved.
No, come
there's
get
cash.
Yeah, if you want your money, it's like you have to get it Evil Knievel style. Come get it. Come get your money. Sure, sue me.
I wish there was less lawsuits. Imagine like
you want more just people like Blackjack Mulligan rules.
Like everybody getting hurt all the time. You got to be on her toes, right? Like we've got to the point where like I'll never be hurt. Like, everybody
I can just sue everybody.
Yeah. And everybody's so afraid of getting lawsuits that they've safety guarded everything. Like I am never afraid of starting a small engine and it exploding in my groin. You know what I'm saying? Like that never. I don't even think that that's a possibility because I'm like, oh. Like the people that make these machines or all the products and stuff are so safeguarded from lawsuits that they're not dangerous anymore. Nothing's dangerous.
Oh man! Apparently the crowd started yelling "F him up."
Oh really?
Because they realized, that it wasn't part of the script.
Yeah. But the wrestler's not going to do that because he could still be sued by this crazy man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he didn't want any of that. Plus you're twice the size of him, like one punch could kill him. Like
our people are like, Sam mentioned this earlier though with all these videos. Are people losing their minds?
I think it's a little bit of people were cooped up for so long.
You think
right?
that? Okay.
And they're getting out and just doing wild stuff.
It does seem like, or are we looking for this more? Because it is twofold, right? They're on the opposite end of that. There are people that are going out more that are like, I hope something happens tonight. Like I've been missing it.
I think there's an element of us seeing it more, too. I think now, even more than 2 years ago, we're looking at our phones more, right?
Sure.
We're more connected. We're more attached to social media. So we're seeing more fights. We're seeing more of this. And we're saying, like, people are acting more crazy than... they're always acting crazy. You're just seeing it more.
Yeah.
I think there's an element of that, too, with being cooped up, with all that stuff.
I just feel like, and this is just my own personal feeling, and I'd like to get you and Sam's opinion on this. I feel like something will change in the form of, like, if everything feels like this is just, I'm speaking for me. It feels like we're coming out of the pandemic, and yeah, we are getting back to a little bit of what, quote, normal used to be. But I feel like there's still this weird distance where now almost everything we go to do, there is a new form of implemented distance in it. Like concerts, they're going to implement some, because people can't act right. They're going to implement new distance. Like, I feel like everything that we used to do is now going to be just pulled back a little bit, because of the festival, because of Astro World, pulled back a little bit, because of WWE, everything pulled back. Everything is a little less intimate. Even at the Improv, you go to the Improv now, tables aren't as tight. Like everything is just a little more distant. Do we just keep continuing that till we get to full virtual? which is
Probably.
where
Well,
we're
that-
going, right?
That's what everybody assumes because they're just doing the math of the logic of, all right, this, just like you saying, it's like
it's weird.
we're getting more and more online and more.
But naturally, it seems very
yeah.
natural. It's just like, oh, we have to do this because, we had the pandemic, but now we're easing back in, but you guys can't act right, so yeah, we got to put some distance here. And it just seems like that's happening with everything. Like for instance, groceries. Before the pandemic, there was grocery delivery, but during the pandemic, grocery delivery thrived. Now we are full. Me, just speaking for me, I'm all in on that's all we do. I don't
Yeah.
go to the grocery store. Do not.
Yeah, very rare. That
I
go.
walk with you guys over to Publix. If we didn't
Yeah,
have to
people-
walk for lunch, I wouldn't go in there. Last night we got 3 weeks worth of groceries, over 200 items delivered right
And look
to the
at
door.
how many more self checkouts there are than
I'm
ever
just
before.
saying, it just seems like, and you've been saying this for a while, it sped everything up, but I don't think we're done yet.
No. This was the initial explosion into the internet, if you want to call it. Like, there's always been a leak. We were going that direction, and this accelerated it over the span of a year that we'd have probably taken us 5 years without the pandemic. And then now that people got used to it, it's only going to be exponential, right? Like, it's just going to be more and more. And like, as the self-checkout works more and more, they're just going to be all self-checkout. And then companies are going to be like, well, who cares? Even if people steal 2% of my merchandise, still cheaper than having employees.
Yeah,
like,
they plan for that anyway.
Yeah. It's like, who cares if they steal, because it's way more expensive and more of a liability to have employees check out people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so like that'll just continue to get to a point. I mean, more deliveries, less people going to maybe, although the live events, it seems like the pandemic didn't necessarily, we still thrive on being around other humanity to a certain extent, and that can't be, I guess, emulated virtually.
No, it cannot.
There's still a connection that isn't in our brains as humans that can't be really fulfilled virtually.
I've been thinking about that. I know we got to get out of here, but I've been thinking about that because people say, watching a stream online. Versus, like right now, you could watch us streaming. We're streaming live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. But in my brain, it's simple. Like, it's like watching a VCR. I say VCR because there's more degradation there in the tape quality or the quality of what you're watching. So it'd be like watching a concert on VCR tape and then being there live. That is what the stream feels like to me. It's like there is a disconnect there because you're not really there.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're there, you're there. If you're there, even
There's
if you're
an
just
energy when you're there.
For me, it's all
You
audio,
can't-
right? Like, I'm a musician audio guy. I don't even really need to see the band. Like, some of the best concerts I've ever had, like Lollapalooza, when I got to see bands that I, like, as a kid, I loved, like Chili Peppers. Got to see them when Blood Sugar Sex Magic came out at Lollapalooza. That's probably going to go down as my favorite concert because it was my favorite band at the time and I got to see them. But I couldn't really see them because there were so many people. But I'll tell you what, I still remember how big they sounded, how awesome it sounded hearing all those songs live. It's literally burned into my skull.
We're all animals. We need to smell each other, be around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all
I
that,
agree.
all that stuff makes sense.
I've been trying to smell Sam all week, but you told me it's weird if I do that.
It's like touch each other and that kind of
touching.
thing.
Oh.
Where
Touching each other. Touch this sick pony.
it makes sense that we will always want that because that's what we evolved into, and it'd be hard to evolve totally out of that. Although maybe that's just a lot of what I've grew up with, and maybe if you grow up with everything virtual, that you don't need that as much. I don't know.
Yeah, that's...
Are we going to a Matrix type virtual world? Or can humans not stand that? If you're in your brain, are you getting the same emotion?
I think they're getting the same. If you ask my daughter, I'm like, hey, these girls you're watching on your iPad, these dancers, we can go down the street and see them dance at UCF. I'm fine. I got them right here.
Yeah. And then if you grow up with it, maybe we're just that's how I grew up, so that's what I need. I don't know.
We got to get out of here. All things Tom and Dan, just search on YouTube, Tom and Dan Live, Twitch. We're live on there Monday through Friday. That was a disgusting inside my body burp that just happened there.
Have a great Thanksgiving. If we don't see you guys, we're doing our Friday free show on Wednesday, so there's going to be that.
And don't forget about, are we doing our the Tom and Dan Save Christmas, where we give everybody teeth? Telethon this year?
Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. We have people that smell good in the studio for once.
Yes.
I had to take the trash out because we had peppercorn dressing wafting
my
through the
God.
air vents.
That's embarrassing.
And I took a giant deuce.
Come
before I
on,
got
don't even
started.
say that.
Don't even bring it up.
Everybody,
Why would you talk about it? Why would you
it's
talk-
a children's book.
No, they don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants
I
to
didn't
talk
make
about
them
it.
talk about it.
I
Indy's.
just went to the bathroom.
Oh,
so testify
oh
for
my
that.
I didn't take it here. I didn't take it
Oh,
here.
okay.
I took it to the front yard like a goddamn dog.
Indy's here from ABC Fine Wine and
Yeah.
Spirits. How you doing, Indy?
Woo!
It's that time,
Hello,
man.
hello.
The protective coating has been peeled off the holiday season. We're ready to go. This thing's open, man.
Yep, and with every holiday season, there's some drinking involved.
Right.
And especially Thanksgiving when all you have to hang out with your family.
Andy,
I
what
feel
say
like
you? Thanksgiving,
You got to be drunk.
I believe, I could be wrong, but to me, Thanksgiving is more of a custom cocktail, hang with the family, that Thursday night party. That is more party to me than Christmas.
Absolutely.
Christmas is party, but not like Thanksgiving is like turn it. Like
Drinks.
I
yeah,
have-
all the drinks.
I come from like a high conflict family, so like drinks have to be involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what a high conflict family means. I don't know what that
I'm
means.
Familiar.
It means there's always some type of argument
Oh,
on
okay,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
So
I like that.
Well,
we've got it. We're like,
Spicy
we can't
fam.
do this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's most families, in general, a lot of people don't hang out with their family and then just do it once a year at Thanksgiving,
Yes.
which seems
With-
like a recipe for disaster.
Copious amounts of alcohol.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, you're being forced to hang out with people that you chose not to
On
all
a
year.
Thursday. On a Thursday. Well, yeah.
And you're drunk.
Yeah, but that Thursday night, that party, or even that Friday, I've heard that Friday's really the big one for, I believe, bar owners, right?
Wednesday.
Wednesday
It's the
night.
night before.
Wednesday night's the
And then
biggest party
everybody's
night.
hungover on Thanksgiving.
Because
yeah.
you're traveling in, right? You're traveling in that Wednesday to be prepared for Thursday with your folks, and then you go out to, at least I would go out to the old bars that I used to go to in college and stuff like that.
Well, we host my husband and I, we host Thanksgiving.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Brave.
Oh yeah.
Brave.
So and
Brave
then
woman.
we get to him and I somehow always manage to ruin Thanksgiving, but it's like every other year. So this is our good year for us.
yeah.
This is supposed to be our good year.
How many people do you usually
family?
have? I mean,
It's about 20 something.
Whoa, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of
Because
voices.
it's like friends and friends come over, so then
we
it's
don't
just-
allow friends in my Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
Well, let me rephrase that. I don't have any friends.
yeah. That's different than not allowed.
That is
Yeah, that's
different.
true.
That's different. But if I did have friends, still not allowed.
See, our friends
to
say
know.
the Thanksgiving, but for us, it's like it's always something so dumb that we argue about. It's like, oh, the mashed potatoes weren't creamy enough, and then that just like it goes downhill over something really stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like-
I already vowed we're smoking a pork butt this year, doing something kind of untraditional. But I already vowed with the wife, I'm like, if this doesn't turn out good, we're already making a plan B, so we already have something to go to if this doesn't, if I mess it up, because there is a high probability that I will do something wrong or not do it long enough or rush the process. So I've already got my plan B, ready to go.
So let's talk about Travis for a second. He's
Travis, he
he's
works
not
with
here.
us. He's not here. He's on
A vacation again.
Yeah, he's doing a quick jaunt to Portland and back in one day.
yeah. And so Travis mentioned that he would like an ABC hat, and he sent them an email.
Yeah, I think he would like more.
So
my
there's
God.
two Travis stories. One,
Two.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He-
One, he was completely inappropriate.
oh no!
he asked for. He's like, hey, so ABC or the Humidor, we have these really cool hats that we gave you guys to give out at the event on not this past Sunday.
Oh, the-
but
Yeah, so for
so-
the bucket,
the
hats.
bucket hat, but it has a
Yes.
string. It's like an adventure hat.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
hiking hat.
I like that
where
hat.
that Samantha
So
makes fun of me.
I
Yeah,
owe
those are
you guys
good.
some hats. I was in a rush and I forgot to grab them. However, Travis emailed me asking if there were any hats with
Large.
It's just a
large enough for his head.
Yeah.
I did email the company because I
Look at this. She's going.
And the company's like, this is one size fits all. We've made it concern huge spectrum of
did.
people. Like a human head, even the biggest we've ever seen, can fit in this.
They did say something similar to that extent. However, I did ask. Don't make
Could
me
you
laugh
make an
'cause then I
exception and
laugh.
put 25 extra stitches in?
I was like, well, maybe
Can you put two together?
could we offer? So I wanted to measure his head so I could give them like a better.
You were going to measure his head? Oh, my God. We have to do that live on the air.
Yes.
So Travis does, like, he can't fit
He doesn't
in
like
any
his head
hat.
touched either.
It's
He-
true.
now-
He does
I don't know
not
if you-
like his head touched.
You knew this, but he does have some sort of extra amount of chromosome where, like,
He's a
got,
caveman.
He's got Neanderthal.
He has
Yeah.
the shelf eyebrow.
Right.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
you... Bubba
He
had
does.
that.
Yeah, he's got Neanderthal
Yeah.
in his. He took a 23andMe and
Like,
then
yeah,
it
we're
came
not
back
lying.
Neanderthal.
Like this bone. I don't know what this bone's called.
Brow bone?
But,
I don't know.
but like Travis and our buddy
Yeah, the
Bert.
shelf.
Yeah, has the... And it's almost like your body, right when you were forming as a baby, your body just was like... and grunted out one more little, like, it's almost like your skull has a baseball hat on. You know, it's like a flat brim skull.
yeah, because Neanderthal eyes are like,
Yeah.
me can't see.
Me can't see me skull. Me skull grow over eyes. Keep fire sky monster out of eyes.
Yeah, like he needs to be able to look up and see his own head. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So so you asked for an
didn't-
extra mega head hat.
Yeah, but I wanted to measure it. Like I wanted to make sure. Like I wanted, like if I'm gonna do something, I want to do it right. So I was like, let me measure
That
his
might
head.
hurt his feelings though if you get around there and you're like 68. That's a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
I forgot the
Or-
measuring tape, but I was like, oh, we could use like toilet paper. You know how like pregnant
Oh,
women
let's
like
roll
measure
others.
that.
Yes, let's do
So,
pregnancy
and
games.
And then you take it back.
Yeah.
And then to the embroidery company, and they say,
You
like,
ship the toilet paper back, and you're like, this is the size of his head in Charmin. Make it.
But I feel bad making jokes like at his expense, given that he's not here.
No,
However,
he's fine. He's listening.
Yeah.
He knows.
He's
Hi,
paranoid,
Travis.
too.
He's driving.
Yeah, he's driving. He's listening to Twitch. I have to hear what they're saying.
yeah. His wife's screaming, I told you to quit years ago.
So with that being said, I also asked him like, how many people am I prepping cocktails for? He's like 4 and you, and I'm like, okay, like whatever. So I did bring
No, I
you
thought it
guys
was
a
him being
gift.
disrespectful. He's like foreign you. Like he was calling you foreign. He's being
Oh.
mean. He's being racist, I feel like.
It could have, but
Yeah.
he was like 4 plus you, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I did promise you guys some new glassware.
Why are you bringing us gifts? Oh my gosh, you're so
Because
sweet.
it's in the spirits of the holidays. We're kicking up the
Well,
holiday
we don't have
season.
anything for you. This is like what I do with my wife when she says we're not doing gifts this year.
I know. My husband just told me we're doing gifts. I
Are
was
you
like,
doing gifts? And you
I
weren't gonna
didn't
do-
want to. I don't like buying people gifts.
He lied,
It's
right?
very uncomfortable.
In the beginning
for
of the year,
me.
my wife lies all the
Yeah.
time. She does the thing, we're not doing gifts. And then I'll wake up and I'll have a gift. This is
Yeah.
the old cliche comedy sketch.
Is it awkward if I like, we got you something too, and then I run into the office and then I start rummaging through the
Pulling
drawers
drawers.
as if like I'm looking for something
Yeah.
to find, and then I come out in a brown paper bag and it's
Hey!
obviously some
Open bag of Cheetos.
used.
I love Cheetos, so that would be
There's some
so
in there if you
thankful
want some.
for that. So, long story short, I'm taking his glass if he doesn't.
All
All
right.
right. Here for today.
Get him.
But yeah, so now you guys have
Thank
like
you.
the official like fancy smanchy.
We got like
good
real
cups.
highball glasses now.
I
Those
like
are
that. I
great.
like the thick glass.
Yeah, I want something thick enough where if I got angry enough, because I didn't get my inheritance, I can throw it at a wall.
Yeah.
How dare you, Daddy?
It also, I mean, if you're angry enough, it won't crash your hand. So
Yeah, you can
No, yeah,
squeeze
yeah,
it
yeah.
hard when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
looking at the stock market and everything's going.
Yeah.
So
They call that the OJ, by the way. Didn't he say that's how he cut his hand up?
Yeah.
He got so upset. I was like, you just saw that in a movie and said that.
I believe that though. He would be strong enough. He's a strong guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
but
ever seen
no
him
one
jump
does it.
over those luggage? He's fast. So what
sorry.
are we making, or what are you rather making
I
today?
am making, well, given that we're like, all hanging out, I'm going to be making a festive fist. It was appropriate since, you're having a
A
gathering.
Festivus?
Festive fist. And it's like a pitcher drink, right? So like you can make this for your family, so you don't have to be making individual cocktails, and they can just pour it themselves.
Group
and it's
cocktail,
one.
yeah.
And I like a fizz.
It's a nice batch cocktail.
I like a fizzy drink.
It is impressive, and that's an old school thing. We went over to this lady's house in Marco Island, and because my wife's granddad designed it or whatever, and so she's lived there for like
Oh, that's
20
cool.
years.
You get to see one of the original Malcolm Brother homes.
And then she
That's
invited Crystal's grandma over, and then we all just went to see the architecture of the house
That's cool.
because she whatever.
Is
And
it
then-
original or has it been redone?
No, originally he designed it
But I
and
mean,
built
like,
it.
is
Yeah.
the-
It's a mansion in Marco Island,
that's
but
cool.
we went there, and she, right when we got there, she fixed everybody some cocktail in a fancy glass decanter thing,
Yes.
with it like a punch
Yeah,
thing.
I like pitchers. I like decanters. I like punch bowls.
But-
I like all of that.
She mixed some things together. It wasn't alcohol, but it was like some orange juice and some other stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
but
you
it was
make
like
a little
Like a punch.
the punch and for everybody, and it was like an old school thing. And I'm like, oh, you want some punch? I'm like, oh,
Back
don't mind
in
if
the
I
day
do.
when people came
Punch.
over, yeah,
Who
I
does
like
that anymore? But it's I appreciated it. I'm like, and making a group cocktail for your family.
Man, old people, you'd go to their houses and you'd walk in and they'd be, oh, how long can you stay? And you're like, oh, well, we got to be on the road. Oh, we'll stay for a second and visit. And you'd be like, okay. They'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to go get a plate of, just a plate of meats.
Yeah.
Well, like, here's some meats.
Appetizers
And here's some
and-
tiny pickles. And here's a little cup. You know, and then you would snack a little. It's awesome.
Yeah, and you would always have some sort of drink and snack, and that would be a thing. And it's nice.
So Indy has out the 1941 vodka, which, I mean, I don't know if y'all are buying that, but that stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I know that you like it a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know I like the price point on it. It is really, really good. And that is a proprietary brand.
It is. It's part of our Source and Certified collection, so it's a boutique brand for us at ABC,
It's
meaning
good.
you can't find it anywhere else in Florida but with us. And again, the reason I'm making a batch cocktails because I've learned over the years that if you have alcohol around, people are less likely to like kind of argue or get fussy. Like everyone just goes for the alcohol. So it's pro tip here.
Up
Make it
until
fun.
Yeah, there's a point. There's a threshold.
After the seventh picture,
fifth
then your
to seventh
uncle
pick,
starts telling
I've
you
been meaning to talk to you about something.
Jerry,
About
Uncle
what's
Jerry
going on
looks
in
I'm
America.
going to talk to you about Rittenhouse. You know that. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it.
Not this year.
Not talking about it.
That's what happened.
Jeez, we put on the parade.
So what do we got, and what are we gonna mix together?
It's going to be 8 ounces of 1941 vodka, 8 ounces of Prosecco, which I have to open the bottle. And I did forewarn everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will not be held responsible
No,
if
you're
I
good.
hit someone in the face.
You know
Not
what?
today.
You know what I've always wanted to happen because I'm much like Ross. I love sparkling beverages.
Okay, yeah.
I like a champagne,
It's
prosecco,
delicious.
all of that. I just think it's an elevated cocktail.
Now,
like,
what
or
is
drink, rather.
prosecco?
Prosecco is sparkling wine made in Italy. So like, you know, like champagne, you can only call it champagne if it comes from Champagne,
The region,
France.
yeah.
Prosecco is basically just originated in Italy, slightly more,
Yeah,
a
it's
little more on the sweeter side.
Sweeter side.
So it's like a sweeter champagne.
It's like Italian. It's the Italian sweet cousin of.
Of champagne.
Okay,
Champagne.
gotcha.
I like it a lot. There are a lot of people that prefer it. If you like sweet beverages, like my wife will prefer a prosecco to a champagne. I like champagne. I'm with Ross. I like it dry. You know, I like it like bubbly and bitey. But I like it like this whole deal of having the cocktail
You
beverages.
can just let it fly right into the drop
Yeah,
ceiling.
just go.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
do it. Oh,
All right.
That was a good one.
that was a good one.
it was, I want to savor it, but like I'm accident
Do you have a
prone.
saber?
We've done it before. You can do it with a really sharp kitchen knife. So
right.
something to try after you're like,
No, yeah.
you started
waste of
arguing with Uncle Jerry. See if he's willing to go and savor
Don't,
something.
no knives. Put the knives away.
But long story short, the reason I'm also doing this is because anything like any type of sparkling wine goes really well with your turkey or anything that's like kind of fatty food because it just basically like the bubbles make the flavor of your food a little more robust.
Enhances it. Yeah.
Exactly. I can't speak today.
Yeah. No,
and
you're
then
good.
the cranberry juice, cranberry sauce, cranberry juice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Isn't today,
Today-
National Eat a Cranberry Day?
Yeah, today is National Eat a Cranberry Day, but she knew that. That's why she brought a
That's right.
cranberry.
Well, last time
prepared.
I was here, Tom didn't know about pudding.
Yeah, we're gonna bring
I
that
should have
What was that, a peach? Was that a peach?
He said apple.
Anybody know where I can get your first peaches?
Oh,
Why'd you do that?
I love that
don't
she
know why.
remembered that.
It
I
was
don't know why.
it was the first thing the chat
didn't-
room said. They're like, "Oh, Indy's here," and then somebody just wrote, "What can I get?"
No, of
That
course
peach?"
they remembered it. I'm just glad
I
she
thought
did.
about bringing a look. To be honest, though, I had my first pomegranate like a month and a half ago, and I was
Whoa.
really surprised. I'm like, "How do you eat this?" And you were like the first person that came to my mind.
Oh, my God! I'm as dumb as that radio guy.
Anytime you don't know.
I'm just like you. Like
fruit.
the emails you get.
Yeah. When I forgot, I didn't know what fruit was. I thought about you too.
Tom gets these emails from listeners that'll be like, "I was at the car wash today and I pooped my pants. I'm just like you." And Tom will be like, "Wait a
Anything
minute,
bad.
wait a minute. Why are
Nothing
you
good.
Yeah, nothing good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a bad husband and dad too, just like you. We're buddies." I'm like, "Don't say
Yeah.
that, man."
So
it's all fun and games. No, I was like, so you need a bit while you're eating this. Good to know.
All right, she put in the vodka. Or, yeah.
So 8 ounces of vodka.
Yeah, with vodka and here's the money. Here's your
8
prosecco.
ounces of prosecco.
Could you go? Is it? I mean, like you could go heavier with this, right? If you wanted to, if you
Yeah.
get 9 ounces, if you like it.
Yeah. Well, you do that thing where you pour and then it starts overflowing the shot glass into whatever, and then
Yeah,
you pour.
yeah,
Yeah. Like 3 Mississippis after. It's
I do that with
overflowing.
salt a lot. You know, when you're putting it in a recipe.
Yeah.
I do that with garlic.
Oh yeah, me too. I love garlic. There's
And
our cranberry.
16 ounces of cranberry.
You know, I got to give you
juice.
a compliment. You don't skimp on your cranberry. A lot of people would skimp and buy any type of old cranberry. You went for the brand name.
It's whatever.
That's the
ABC
brand, though. I'm
ABC
saying,
had it right
Yeah,
there.
It does matter to me. If you walk in and you got big value cranberry, I'm like, "What's a damn big value cranberry?"
It's great value. How dare you?
Well, I wasn't trying to get sued by Walmart.
They're not. They don't care.
But still, it's like you were at the holidays, whatever. You couldn't spring the 84
No.
extra cents
Yeah.
for the
No.
ocean spray.
Yeah, you can get the ocean spray. Why
Yeah.
you got to get big value?
Yeah. Even it's worth just a sticker, so me
Yes,
to see ocean
so
spray.
I see it.
Yeah.
It makes it.
It's
when I-
84 cents
yeah,
worth it.
When I walk into the house, I'm like, well, okay, so you took from the ocean spray, right? You took from the cranberry. Where'd you put the money back in? And then I see a big value turkey, and I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. It tells everybody like
Yeah, but cheap bastard.
I'm sorry, that's not true.
So easy peasy. You just do the 3 ingredients.
That's it.
3 ingredients. Pour it over.
How
It
long
even changed the color of things. Like it's like a little bit more pleasant holiday hue.
with like a champagne or prosecco? Once you open the bottle, how long
That's a great
is it
question.
good for? Like a night or a
That's
couple hours?
That's a good question.
So there's actually champagne stoppers, which I'm mad that I didn't bring one because I would have left it for you guys, and it lasts like 2-3 days.
Okay.
You just have to have the champagne stopper. So like I like prosecco in my drinks because you can do a lot with prosecco. Like you can make a margarita, for example, and top it off with prosecco, and it gives that little extra you know.
Like Prosecco is now being used. Tell me if you like this analogy. I think I just made it up. Prosecco is now being used as like the hot sauce in cocktails because like she
It
said
goes with anything.
with the margarita though it also gives it a little bubble pop, right?
Yeah.
Because I've
Some carbonation.
yeah,
Fizz.
I like fizzy drinks. So now she get the herbs out. Hold on a second. This is
That rosemary.
yeah, this is where things go crazy when you start putting. I like aromatics, like herbs, pieces
Yeah.
of tree in my drink. I like that
Garnishes.
stuff. Yeah, man.
Bark.
Put a tree in my drink. I like it.
So let's talk about Thanksgiving Day because I'm a big proponent on leaving the TV on and with football playing
Yes.
in the background,
All day.
volume low.
Yes.
So people can have
Or
conversation. But
We do off with Christmas music.
But having
Thank you.
yeah,
This is lovely.
having the volume off but the TV on, you gotta have
Look at that guy.
you gotta have the TV on. I know people like complain and about like no, you don't want distraction and you have it so everybody can talk or whatever. But sometimes like you just want to sit on the couch after you'd made your rounds with the family and just watch
Catch up.
TV and not
See
have
what
to.
let's see what Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's only so much you could talk to your family about, and until it passes the threshold of being fun anymore.
It gives you an out too if politics or something you don't want to talk about comes up. You can defer to that.
Yeah.
This is really tasty.
Sorry, I just wanted to give it a little.
No, it's
flavor.
good. It's super tasty. What would we call this?
It's called the Festive Fizz.
Festive Fizz. There we go.
That's good. That's real good.
This is not the official recipe, but I also like to add a little bit of Aperol here and there if I need like a hint of like sweetness and give it a little like
You said it was a peach.
And I mean like just a couple of like
little drops
in there, but
yeah, that's when you're done. You're not a cocktail guy, right? Neither of us are. We were more like beer dudes, right?
Yeah, but I enjoy a good drink, and I would prefer a drink in a social setting or when a special occasion over like anything else.
The
like a mixed
rosemary
drink.
makes this, I think.
so also I mean I know you're not a cocktail guy, but quick trip when you're putting any type of rosemary, what do you call it, like herbs, always try to give it a little like slap on your hand.
I saw you do that, and I was wondering what that was about.
I thought you were doing that to get my attention. I kept looking over like, I'm paying attention.
I know
I'm watching
she was
you.
teasing Tom over there.
No, it opens up
got
the
nervous.
aromas of whatever herb you're putting in there because you're like smacking it, so it like wakes it up.
Yeah, it releases some oils.
And it releases the oils in there for the cocktail.
I love this. This is great. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. It's supposed to be paired with turkey, but I could have brought subs.
No,
I
that's
didn't.
fine.
Oh, bring a portable camping oven.
Here.
And now I'm going to bake this turkey for 5 hours.
You're putting the oil in the deep fryer. You're like, I'm about to put this out on your porch.
How do you do your turkey? Let's talk about that. Are you
I
guys
brine it.
And then you just bake it traditionally?
I brine and bake.
Oh, that's great.
With like so much garlic but it's like so fattening. I know I could give someone a heart attack.
It's awesome though. I like it like that. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm camping,
He's
so
going to
yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
Hot dogs? Or are you
No,
going
yeah,
out?
we just we're doing a camping Thanksgiving, but it's going to be a mishmash of whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a traditional
Little
Thanksgiving.
Caesars, I get it.
No,
Gotten ready.
it's camping food or whatever the grill.
Hot dogs.
What are you
fire.
doing?
Yeah.
Are you doing a big turkey?
No, not cooking.
Oh, you're doing the sandwich at it.
Yeah.
That's right. You go out
Earl
to
of Sandwich at Disney Springs.
That's a good sandwich though.
It is.
So, Indy, what time are you supposed to invite your family over? Because I thought you were
Why are
supposed.
you asking her that?
Well,
She
because
seems to know the
Yeah,
holiday
yeah.
a lot.
Well,
And
you
when we
host-
get somebody like this in our clutches, we're damn sure not letting them get away.
So you're the family that hosts everybody, and like, what time do you tell people to show up? Because you're always going to have the people that get there
Extra early.
That's
why
or
you tell them you tell them later
well,
in order to get the real time. Like Andrea's dad is notoriously early, so if we're gonna start at 4, I tell him 3. I tell him 5, so he gets there at 4.
I grew up in Miami. Every single person that grew up in Miami that knows what I'm talking about, everybody shows up an hour after the start time, and then you're insane if you showed up at the start time. People would be still getting ready or whatever. It's just everybody knows you come late, and it's at least an hour after start. So I imagine depending on your family, like if you tell them to show up, like, dinner starts at what's traditional for Thanksgiving?
God, for me now,
4:30, 5?
Here's where I'm going to mess everybody up. I think for us, like, you were to arrive 2-ish, and we were eating like between 3 and 4. It was like almost like a hybrid between lunch and dinner, because you didn't want to eat so much at like 7:30, and then you're going to bed with like 150 pounds of food in your stomach.
Yeah.
It was always weird. We did it early. What about you?
Yeah.
So this is a hot button in my family.
Uh-oh,
this is
where you
what
fight.
caused this literally the first year my husband and I hosted Thanksgiving. This was the fight. My family likes to like roll in. Like you tell them a time and it's like optional for them to show up at around that time. My husband's a chef, so like food has to be perfect.
Yes, he
and
has
cooked
a
on
high
time.
standard.
So standards here, my family just rolls in. We have decided for the past year, we told people to come in at 2. Mind you, it was smaller because of COVID. So 2 seemed to work for us because we started eating at around 4 p.m. And then people left early enough, like my family members that we weren't necessarily like happy to be there. They roll out and then like the party really starts because the people that actually want to be there stay. So me personally, I would think that the latest I'd want to have someone or give them like a time to be there would be 6 p.m. because traditionally you eat at around 7:30 dinner, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm not a late dinner guy. I like an early dinner, but I'm old.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That is an old man thing.
It seems like though Thanksgiving people always do their Thanksgiving dinner earlier.
I just
than
don't like the
normal.
way
Yeah.
I feel. It has nothing to do with my age. It's just like I don't like getting full late. It makes me feel gross. And then I got to sleep. And I'm like, ooh, you know, like, I like to feel gross at 4 and then give me a couple hours to ungross myself.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you go at it again.
Normally I don't, but man, it's hard sometimes if it's something I really like cold turkey sandwiches. And what I mean by that is Hawaiian roll, like 3 pieces of turkey, and then like a pound of salt on top of that, and I just eat that. Oh my God, salted turkey! I'm just eating it all night.
Yeah. And it seems like nearly impossible to get everything out with a huge Thanksgiving dinner without having some sort of commercial kitchen like that's hot and
Not
like,
enough ovens.
Yeah. Like most people, they have one oven, right? So it's like, how are you going to get 5 different or 6 different dishes out at the same temperature on the time? Like it's
hard.
nearly impossible.
We
Right?
used to, when we did it at the house I had before now, like 10 years ago, the little house, I had a double oven. So it was perfect because I had the little one and then I had the big conventional. And we were able to do it. And you could like set certain things to get done earlier. But I remember scenarios in my mom's house where she'd be using the oven and we had so many people coming over where she had commandeered the neighbor's oven. Do you ever hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Or see this? Yeah, where
yeah.
she had commandeered the neighbor's oven because they were going out of town, right? So she would be baking in their kitchen. They're out of town. We have their keys. And she's going, that's how hard she's working. I'm like, that's not worth it. Going over to other people's houses and using their ovens.
Also, you know what wives really like? When their mother-in-law tells them what they did wrong in
Yes,
cooking.
they
love
them
that.
or standing over them the entire time.
Yeah. They love when their mother-in-law tells them how they did it and how
oh my God,
you're doing it a little bit.
You put the turkey
wrong.
in a bag.
Yeah. You don't say it's bad,
no.
but you say it.
You question it.
Yeah, you question everything they do.
My daughter Maisie did. I put my I bought my overalls I've been wanting.
Oh.
I bought a pair of Carhartt overalls. I've been wanting overalls for a long time since my wife threw out my overalls. So I bought a new pair of overalls and I put them on. And I walked out and Maisie goes, "You're wearing that?" It hurt my feelings, dude. It crushed me.
I like that.
I went back inside. I changed. I texted Andrea how upset I was, and then Andrea sat Maisie down and talked to her about it. It's like, you really crushed your dad's feelings.
Indy, I got one last question for you. So
Talk to me.
when you're having a group at your house, right?
I thought you were going to ask something completely.
No. Like, so most people know, like, okay, if I'm going to get the soda for a group of people, I'm going to get like a Sprite, a Coke.
What are you
going to
get? 2
Coke.
liters? Ew.
No, but I'm just saying, you get some generic
2 liters?
Sunkissed.
well, Sunkist stuff like that. I feel like
Too fancy.
my
man.
mom's
Are
there.
you
They feel appreciative.
This guy's styrofoam cups, one little thing of ice, all the 2 liters, the caps are everywhere.
I don't drink much soda at the house, so
Get individual cans.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying you get some generic. What kind of like liquor should you have
That's a
when
good
you have
question.
a random amount of people of your house, like the staples? Like you have some 1941 vodka, of course, because everybody, with the mixed drinks, it's easy to work with. But
Vodka is just so easy because it goes and it blends in with everything. Rum and bourbon.
okay.
In my house, we don't drink rum, so we replace it with tequila.
Oh,
But-
tequila, get me jumping off the banisters.
I almost brought tequila to make tequila drinks, but I'm like, it's too early for this.
I love
like,
That's
to
more of
hold
a
yourself
Christmas
that's
thing.
my tequila and mezcal are like my favorite.
Tequila's
So
my
it's
favorite.
like-
Well, I feel like
Hard
more.
alcohol.
I see more people like tequila than rum nowadays.
I feel
Too
like
sugary.
Well, tequila is trending right now. It's the spirits that's trending the most. So like, how we had whiskey and bourbon, those are still trending, but tequila is like the new spirit.
supposedly it's the most healthy, right?
It is
Yeah.
supposed to be very healthy. We are stick around with ABC, and we are going to be releasing an article soon why health conscious people drink tequila.
Okay.
So it's very interesting, but it is one of the healthiest spirits out there, if not the healthiest.
Angel from the Monsters was telling me that. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was going to this whole thing about because I was telling him how much it's always been naturally my favorite of the spirits. I just love tequila. My wife likes tequila too. Like she doesn't even drink, but if she's going to, it is a shot of very expensive tequila. And I'm like, you are the strangest human being. Plus she doesn't eat a lot of meat, but when she does, like we have that Wagyu steak that we got from Organic Meats.
Yeah.
And she's like, she'll have tequila and a ginormous steak. I'm like, you are so odd, but she'll do it like once or twice a year, right?
She's a boss lady.
Really go crazy on it.
Brilliant marketing by the tequila people because they went hard on party early on. Like,
They did. They got it out of their system.
Yeah, like they was like tequila was the party drink for years.
It was tequila.
And they're like,
Oh,
we're shifting into health. They were like, whoa, that was a pivot that I didn't see coming.
They got me.
Mid-late tequila.
You went party to health.
Yeah, tequila's like me. Tequila's like, I got to slow down a little bit. You know what? I'm healthy now.
My New Year's resolution is to become a tequila sipper. So instead of like using cocktails, just learn how to like drink it neat or just on the rocks. But that's my New Year's resolution because it's something I can stick
But
to.
tequila's easy because of the different flavor profiles of like lowland tequilas and highland tequilas. And I've taken a lot of little classes on it. Tequila is...
But I'm a cocktail wine girl. Like I really love the flavors and experimenting. So that's why. But
I like it.
it's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna stick to it. I know that already.
I like that.
So I'm good with that one.
Wow.
And going back to that, rum, vodka, and bourbon is what they usually say. But me personally, I replace it with tequila because I feel like most people will go with it, and it also mixes really well with anything that's kind of on the sour side of things, tart, whatnot. Also, it pairs decently well with food when you're making cocktails.
Rum to me though seems very Christmassy. You know, it seems like what the dog that would save you in the snow would have and put in your mouth.
I never have rum at my house either, though.
But I like rum. When I have a traditional, I call it a onesie. When I have a onesie, which is lots of ice, Diet Coke, rum, Captain Morgan. That's a onesie. Diet Coke and rum, like it's not like when I taste it, it's got this really caramel kind of a yummy sugary. I love it.
Rum mixes well with all the milks, right? Like that's what they put in.
Rum chata and
like all the eggnogs and stuff. That's all rum based.
It's brandy, right?
Is it brandy?
Brandy.
Okay.
I think eggnog is brandy. I don't drink eggnog either, though.
How are you on eggnog?
I make the Hispanic eggnog or Puerto Rican eggnog, which I make
coquito.
coquito.
Yeah.
Coquito is superior in my eyes.
Oh, we get it every single year from listeners.
And then we rail against it. We're just like, oh my God, they've given us their homemade milk.
By the way, and this is not including you, Indy, but everybody else, this is just for listeners.
Here we go.
If you're making coquito every year, right, just order the blank bottles on Amazon and don't give it to me
a Gatorade bottle.
In your whole
leftover Heinz ketchup
sometimes
bottle.
Sometimes they don't even take off the wrapper. It says on the back, it says Michael Jordan's favorite citrus cooler. I'm like, what?
Putting it in old Matook's bottles.
I am so guilty of that.
Don't do that.
I mean, how much are glassware? Like you can get. I bet you if you looked up a dozen.
Oh, what's this? Oh, look, we got Duke's mayonnaise. It's coquito. Oh, okay. I'll put it back.
It goes back. I mean, growing up in a Hispanic household, you'd think you have like, I don't know, some nice kind of butter in the fridge, and it's not. It's like some kind of leftover meal or hot sauce, whatever.
Sure.
It's like so disappointing.
Reuse.
So like we reuse it for everything. So if we do it for food, why not for
some
drinks?
sweet and beautiful abuela standing there. Some beautiful abuela standing there with a Gatorade bottle full of coquito. She's putting used toilet paper in the trash. There's a better way for everything. We can fix this. You can flush the toilet paper and you can put that in a glass bottle.
I'm all about recycling and saving the earth and reusing things. I'm just saying when you're giving as a gift.
Key West BTM, we have to send her a prize because that's one of the funniest and most true things ever said. Key West BTM says, country crock containers for everything.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Everything in that tan khaki country crock. And my mom put everything in country crock.
And the blue shortbread cookie tin.
Yes.
It's sewing supplies.
Yeah, absolutely. But the country
Although
crock,
no one ever sews in my
country crock was
family.
weird because my mom would have everything in old country crock containers, but I never saw her once use country crock.
I'm just saying
Whoa.
it's
You heard about
off-putting
this one?
drinking my coquito out of a magnum of A1 sauce because it's what you had left over.
Yeah.
Just order the glassware.
I'm gonna call him out right now.
It's got to be penny.
Comedian Pedro Lima dropped by some coquito. You didn't soak your bottles. They still had the sticky from the wrappers on them.
Okay, I save my wine bottles. I give it to people in my wine bottles.
You gotta soak them.
I'm already busy making the damn cookies.
I take your coquito and you shut the hell up.
Get Travis to
You
do
say
it.
thank you.
I know. I'm like,
You know what? Next time
She's
I'm
offended.
gonna come here with like super labeled
Yes.
everything. I'm gonna be like, bam.
Why is this barefoot
Passive-aggressive.
Pinot Grigio look
my
like it's
God.
got milk inside
My
of it?
God, this wine's gone bad. Oh wait, oh it's coquito. Okay. Is everything in here coquito? Can I have some regular milk for my cereal, please? Because everything is coquito. At one point last year, we had so many of our Spanish friends bring us coquito that there was no place to put our lunch in the refrigerator. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I had to tell Travis politely. I said, "Look, it's nice that they brought us all this, and everybody has a different recipe, and they're all the best."
Also,
Mine's the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we should have a coquito off.
First of all, we did it at work. You can catch it on YouTube coming up soon.
Okay.
Because we did a blind test.
What?
Yeah. And I made mine, and there are brands
Yours
like
won, didn't
Bacardi, Palms. I can't give it away.
No, don't
no
give it away.
spoilers.
That's
no
yours, but you
spoilers.
won, right?
She's not allowed to say.
Oh, no, okay, gotcha.
and last tip of the day: when you're at your
Oh,
Christmas
you're giving
Eve
us
party,
tips?
I was just saying, and maybe like if you have a medical marijuana card and you have some back problems, you got taking some CBD or whatever, you need 1% THC.
Yeah, I'm taking some CBD,
I'm just saying the coquito will light it like a fuse because it's so
Light it like a
Yeah.
fuse.
and
light it
you
like
will
a
be unable to talk to your mother-in-law in the kitchen, and you have to go hide
Well, they use
and
full
have
fat.
a freak out.
They use full
the
fat
closet.
milk.
Yeah.
You don't
full
wanna-
fat. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't drink full fat milk that
You
often,
don't.
and then all of a sudden you have a full glass of coquito.
Yeah.
and you are having a freak
Well,
out.
you might want to prepare, even if you're not on the medical marijuana, you don't want to be drinking if you haven't had it in a years.
No,
you don't want to be
I-
drinking a full fat glass of milk. Just don't do, like, I'm not even going to explain why not to do it. Just don't do it.
You're drinking a double fudge sundae of sugar
Yeah,
and fat.
And you're lighting your stomach's fuse, and it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be real bad.
I make mine with ice cream. So
Oh.
like it's even worse. So like if
Bring
you
it
get,
next
like,
time.
Oh, that
You're
sounds
done.
delicious.
because I don't like the eggy flavor,
I
so
don't
I
either.
I'm with
replace
you.
that with like ice cream. So then I make like flavored, and also like coquito is
Don't give your
very
secrets
sweet.
out.
Oh.
That's
I have more secrets.
but that's
than that,
brilliant
though.
because I don't like the egg taste
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do it with your favorite like flavored ice cream.
Done.
Ah,
I'm doing
yes.
this. This is a great idea. Well, always a pleasure seeing you. Thanks for coming in and
Thank
cutting
you.
up with us
Indy.
a little bit. The drink is phenomenal. I love the festive fizz. It's delicious.
And we want to remind everybody, when you go to ABC, your local ABC, take a picture of what you bought, or you in front of the store, or whatever, hashtag TDABC, and we give out prizes.
We do.
ABC gift cards will mail them to you. And that helps us, and we show all that to ABC.
Well, and
Yeah, that works for delivery too. So if you get something delivered, take a picture of what you ordered.
Yeah, the
and,
delivery
hashtag-
system.
Yeah.
The funny
I
Especially
use
for the
that all the time.
For the holidays, just give it delivered
Yes.
to your house.
It comes via FedEx. It's super easy.
The only word of the wise I would say to that, if you order it from the studio like I did, just make sure your wife's there because they're really fast and they fit me in. They were like, "Oh, we have an opening here," and then you just delivered my stuff, and Andrea's like, "What'd you buy?" And it all like showed, there's like tons of White Claw and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, just make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
they can fit you in pretty fast. Indy, thank you so much.
Thank
Is there
you.
anything you need to plug?
I kind of do.
Do it.
Go ahead.
So obviously get your alcohol from us. Great ideas if you are not really sure what to get people. Glassware, hashtag we sell it there. So thank you also to ABC. We are on YouTube now, and we are implementing a lot more videos with more ideas on cocktails, wines to serve, how to pair your turkey with what type of
Or
wine.
your newsletter. Like, I get that. It's got all
Yes.
kinds of stuff in it.
Yes. So just follow us on ABC Fine Wine Spirits on YouTube. Both YouTube and Instagram, as well as Facebook. And I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully, I see you before Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
We'll
Let's
get you in
measure Butler's head
I
next time with
that's the big-
Charmin. That's
You know what
all
we should
what
do
I
to really
want.
embarrass him?
What's
We should
the circumference?
We
It's like-
should do a fish tank and then make him put it in like a displacement where he has to put his head in.
yeah.
Oh, the water went up 9
Yeah.
inches. That's how fat your head is.
Because he does not fit in any hats, and like even our straw hat is like it's really baggy. It's like barely it sits on the top of his head. It's a weird
Yeah.
freak of nature.
It's off-putting.
I know it's all jokes, but I really did want to get him a cat. Like that was like originally,
He doesn't
it was
need
a
anything.
nice. I was
Yeah.
like, let me do a nice gesture.
Also,
and then
why
I
is he
was like,
begging our sponsors for
Yeah,
hats?
why is he making
Yeah.
you do extra work? He
I
should
know.
be getting you
Yeah,
a hat.
yeah,
he
need to
was
get you
so
a hat.
kind. No, he was just so kind, and I'm like, let me see
What?
what I can do.
Kind. He's a horrible person.
Yeah. That's all.
We hate him.
I'm sorry, Andy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right.
He's fine.
I'm gonna get an email and be like, "What the heck?"
No, he doesn't listen. He hates the
where's
show.
my hat? I think they're getting rid of me. Gotta get all the clothes I can while I'm here. Hey, it's Butler. This is a new email address. I'm
Hey,
not here anymore.
Mark Villain, what do you got?
Yeah. Like your employees start stealing all your roasts. That's what's happening right now. All right, bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Real quick, we didn't even talk about this, but we do have to. I'll let you do the honors. We do have to address the elephant, the big Miami University elephant in the room.
Well,
Not in the room.
Or excuse me, University of Miami.
Yeah, we're not doing Nerd Jock because, the campaign that Canadian Josh started, he raised $100
Yeah,
and then
he started a
bought EJ
GoFundMe,
off-
like a legitimate GoFundMe, right?
So he bought EJ out, so he's not doing his bit today. Because EJ said, if you give me $50, I won't do my bit. And then Canadian Josh vowed to keep this going until infinity, I guess.
Yeah. So as of right now, Nerd Jock is no more.
Well, I guess as long as EJ gets the $50.
Right.
How did this happen? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I was
Who
thinking.
has the
is
money,
that-
by the way?
Here's what I'm thinking is that I would be willing to not do anything for money.
Oh, yeah.
With
yeah.
this show. So if there's a portion of this show that you dislike or it's not your favorite, it could be me. You're like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
There is a set amount of money that you can give the show at all times.
Yeah.
And I'll just disappear.
We won't even air the show if you want. Like, you could pay us.
Pay us to not.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
won't do the show.
We won't even do it.
I don't know why
We'll
you
just
do
put
it.
Kmart Christmas on.
Yeah. I'll just put Kmart Christmas on.
Yeah. Because, like, I'll just tell, Jack, just air whatever.
Yeah, just put anything there.
Yeah.
They're not paying us anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
whatever.
play Christmas music
I
or
don't
whatever.
care. I don't
it doesn't
care.
matter.
I'm getting paid by somebody else now.
Well,
They're my boss now.
in
Well, they're
fact,
not, but
if some rich, super mega rich person wanted us to just do the show for them and them alone,
we'll
we do that. Yeah.
If a mega rich person wanted me to sleep with them, I will do that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
What do you want?
Whatever you want us to do, there is a money amount that I'll do it for.
To some mega rich MILF over in Thornton Park, I can imagine one of those ladies want to know what it's like to have the little person experience. And I can give
little
you,
person package.
without the stigma
Yeah.
of actually going through with it because they are gross. You can book me as and I'll give you the full little person experience complete. I'll walk a little different, I'll talk a little different. You know.
You'll paint himself orange.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, bring your cookies.
Yeah, the only thing I don't do, and this is just a rule that I picked up for the girls that do the escorts and online, I don't kiss.
Oh, okay.
I don't do the that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But everything else, I've never
leprechaun,
I've
or you do
never
full leprechaun?
I'll do full leprechaun.
Okay.
I've never understood that. There are girls escorts that'll be like, look, I'll do anything, including the butt, but no kissing. I'm like, all right, that's weird. That's a weird flex.
Yeah, it's a weird place
that's
to
weird.
draw a line.
Condoms, no condoms. We can go, but I'm not kissing you. That's too intimate. Too intimate, really?
Well, what can I offer that because you have some novelty experience?
Someone is asking
Well,
how
you
much
belittled it by
will
causing-
cost for the puppets to host the show.
Oh, there is a money. There is a money number
a
for
whole show?
Yeah.
Like what do you a whole
Full ACT. Oh, let's make Tom. Wait, how much money?
Oh my God, that's what happened. That's what happened to him. He fried his brain out.
Look around here, pee-pee dogs.
How much money for the next time Indy's in here for Tom to host as the puppet?
He couldn't do
well,
it.
He couldn't do
in
it,
front of
right? He's
Indy.
too embarrassed.
He couldn't do it in front
Look
of
at it,
Indy.
he was trying to be so professional.
Well, but because
Your nipples got hard.
Yeah.
no, they didn't.
I had no idea. Do you know what they used to call this guy in college? The
No.
Orient Express,
No,
if you know
come-
what I mean. Only
They-
Asian girls.
They come on. They you threw me off. Now
I'm just trying
What was I
to.
gonna say?
My whole point is just to
What-
throw you off.
What was I gonna say? Oh,
Can't stop thinking about Indy.
I'll do it for $800.
He's got. Some would
The
say
whole
he's got an
show.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Bones.
The whole show as a puppet, $800.
Hey, really? That's low,
That's-
dude.
No,
At least get
tw-
$1,000.
20-minute show. Like I
No,
I
20-minute segment.
You know,
The show is an hour.
Well, 20-minute segment, $800. I mean, that's just me. Daniel will do it for free because he likes that stuff.
No. I will not do the show. It's too hard. I can't do it. I'll do it for a goof for a couple minutes, put it down, but I do the whole show like the puppet.
We'll just talk regularly and then move our hands like the puppet, right?
It's still harder,
Or do
though.
you have
You
to do
gotta
the
do
greedy
it.
voice? I could do that. $800.
Okay,
Like,
$800.
I set the price.
We need to get a Sam puppet because I feel like if she does it, and I do it, you'll have no choice. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I got a choice.
What are you gonna do?
I'll just
Walk out?
No, I won't walk. I'll never walk out. I'll never give up.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. I rickrolled myself. What are you doing?
Anyway, so that's it.
Yeah, so
No
EJ's bit is canceled. We got
For
paid.
2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that worked. Did he say?
I'm also upset now. I'm finding out in the chat that Canadian Josh wants to PayPal me the money from this GoFundMe, and then I'm in charge of getting that to EJ somehow. Why am I the middleman
Well,
here?
you can throw it to me.
Then I gotta take a cut.
Give
right?
it to me. Yeah, you can. Do whatever you want to. Don't give it to EJ. I don't care.
That's
Tell
true.
him to give you the money and keep the hundo. I don't care. I really don't.
Daniel really doesn't care.
I really don't. There's so much I don't care about. You have no. I could
Almost nearly everything.
Yeah.
I give
like
a
that,
full
man.
list of things I don't care about. But EJ getting $100 or some goof bit of some crappy bit that he does that we canceled because we have a Canadian friend. I don't care.
We have another Canadian listener, by the way.
We do.
Yeah.
Besides Matt?
Yeah, there's a new one that
All
emailed
right.
me and said he started.
We're
He
going
started
to do a battle to the death, right? With all the Canadians?
Well, so far there's only 3. I think the new one's name is Josh.
We should
whatever
do,
his-
2 Joshes?
We should do like a Canadian listener like battle, like our showcase, kind of like what Sam's saying, but like show knowledge, things that they know, like interesting facts.
This Canadian listener was ultra nice, by the way.
They
Just
all
like the
are.
stereotype.
They all
Yeah.
are.
And I said I'll send him a shirt, and then he said thanks so much. Very excited. Like,
Very excited.
no, but but like
Just a split
damn
second.
it.
I'm like
you
I've
were so close.
never given
Never
you know
gonna give you up.
a listener a
That's never
shirt,
gonna get you down.
and he ever said very excited about it. Right? Like no one's ever.
Everyone's always just like, cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Normally,
Canadian was
when I
very
tell
excited.
people I'm going to give them something for, I'm like, hey, I'll give you some free stuff. They're like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, you get that one
I'm
too.
not,
that's the
I'm
number
not that
one.
big of a fan.
Yeah.
Like it would be a hassle, like even picking it up off.
Like,
the,
oh, God, a free sticker? God.
Yeah.
You made me do this for something I like?
I'm just going to throw it in the trash.
They are not very excited at all. All right, there
Very
it is.
bad.
Your money is well spent.